They were the leaders for a long time. And they are right now still lingering around that top spot. And they've moved themselves back into rank 2. Full Russian team. They've been playing pretty well.
I think one of the most impressive things out of that last squad to note, too, with some of the numbers that they had, is you can keep track of the damage, right? 100 HP is a kill outside of armor, so anywhere from 100 to 200 should be a kill. Every one of those guys with 11 kills, damage matches almost 1-to-1 with that. That they are clearly, you know, this isn't, 11 kills of chaos egg. This is us, we are just walking in, smacking some dudes around, making sure we got the shots on point.
Hey, Mr. Woody, thanks for the 100 rubles. Rubies? Rubles.
We're not in Zelda.
I don't know. No, rupees are a real thing. But that's...
I was going to say, rupees they're real.
There it is.
Oh, they are. You're right.
Look, I have moved through this caustic trap. It's so risky. Oh my gosh, they're going to zipline over top. This is no vulnerable. That is so high risk. Oh my goodness, and they make it out. They clutch it.
You expect them to walk, like, I'm looking for the smoke, looking for the smoke. They're like, nope. Over your smoke. Don't care about your green gas.
The best part about it as well is they know that they do not need to fight right now. They're sitting them outside of the ring, so they're doing a lot of damage is getting ticked down onto them, and so they're going to hard rotate all the way to that southwestern side, try to see if they can get healed up with some syringes, and then try to get back in the fights.
Oh my goodness. That is such a tough moment. Every time you have that zip line where you're like, this is it, this is going to be the one, it feels like more often than not, you always get those shots into your back and go down. This team, very happy to be alive, but clutching it. And now with 3 squads, should be in a pretty decent position. I only say decent purely because they do have a Pathfinder to be a little bit more mobile if they would like around this circle closing in. But with that pressure from the shots on the angle, I don't know if they got it.
Lots of fire you can hear happening in the background, and it's nothing but we need to figure out how much health are we going to be able to effectively get ourselves to at this point in time. Lots of pings coming out, added to that good ping system. They can see. Get him in Gibraltar ring, and he steps outside the ring and gets knocked down. Great opportunity for them to potentially get onto the skill. He's going to be able to try to see if no damage markers happen, so he's going to have to reload and push.
No recoil with the legendary barrel stabilizer.
No, none whatsoever there on that
laser
R301.
gun.
Yeah, it's straight a BB, dude. Just launching him out there. Double knock, getting the Gibraltar after he steps out of the ring. You know, probably the only guy who gets knocked out of the ring rather than in it, but...
Gets the full finish as well to make sure that he gets that elimination and gets that single point, which is extremely important in the format that we see. Knows he needs to pop himself up a little bit more of that shield cell. Reloads his Spitfire, reloads his R301. He's set and ready to go.
One thing we have to consider, though, is ammo right now, right? He's got a lot of bodies that'll be able to loot, and there was a lot of light ammo there for his R301, but he is on the Spitfire. He's on a double auto situation, except for the R301 can go into the single, but he's sitting lower-ish, minus now, again, the light ammo's there. But the Spitfire, it's low enough. We've got 1 clip and a half at best.
It's not the suppressing fire that you could use it for.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, teammate goes down. That's a lifeline. Throws out a couple frag grenades to try to get something done. Line, and it hits again with a knockdown.
Instant shield, very well done. Just in case you get the reinitiation, having that 25% increased shielding.
Getting inside the building. Luckily, this is one of the buildings that doesn't have the roofs off of it, so he actually can stay safe.
Zip can easily get him into position if you would like to without getting shot in that downtime.
Full elimination goes down. And in this situation with only 2 squads left, you don't want to try to hard force revive your teammate. He does luckily have that epic knockdown shield, which is going to give you a lot of extra. Hides behind the rock. He's able to get off his lifeline. Lifeline can then pop down his tactical ability to get healed back up. 2 squads left. This 5 points is going to be huge for them to stay good on this roster.
Oh, the R301 not hitting all the shots like it was over the last time, but his teammate does end up getting the knock. There it is, cleaning it up.
More points, Pog staying in this thing.
Dude, I respect, he just leans over, hits up the water jug, and just goes another day in the office after that. That was nice.
And it's not a small jug either. He's got a giant pitcher of water going, just got to quench the thirst for the tournament we're trying to win.
Do any of you recognize the sword on his back wall?
If I was to guess, it looks like a Raygon sword from Battle Right, but it definitely is.
Kind of. But if that existed somewhere, that'd be amazing.
Do you know exactly what sword this is?
No, I do not.
Okay, I have no idea.
Yeah, it looked like, my brain says a League of Legends character, but I can't like maybe.
My sword knowledge is pretty subpar, so I'm going to default to you on the sword knowledge on this one.
Chad, if you know, let us know. Here we jump on with Cyanide, Team ZF.
You don't want it?
I can tell you it wasn't an Ashbringer. I know that much.
No, we actually have an Ashbringer in my house. I'm not lying.
I'm a little jelly.
It's a little big. It's a little ostentatious.
You got a mark here, son. I like mark.
Ooh, nice.
We see the syringe being used. That's the smallest health medical tool, right? To be able to heal back up. And earlier I talked about some of the shielding versus healing and why shielding's better than healing in the long run. And just the main reason is when you look at a shield cell, 25% of your shields versus a syringe, which I believe is 20% of your maximum HP, there's a 2-second time difference. So for 5 more health and 2 less seconds, a shield cell is trading up massively. So the biggest thing is if you can keep your shields up, that helps so much in this game. Oh, great flank.
The poor Mirage is holding the door. I've got this line. There were 2 lines, I'm sorry. The Wraith goes down.
Execute. Give me it.
Finish it.
Ooh.
Finish. Nope, loot.
No ice. Last one. Hot.
Still early in the game, so they need to make sure they get up as much loot as possible. Suggestions coming out from his teammate. And there you go, the Peacemaker able to take down the 3rd member of that squad. So they get the full wipe. It looks like they're going to be free to go around these little town areas and try to see if they can get themselves looted, booted, and ready to go.
I love that. I don't know if you noticed, but you had a slight slip there calling it the Peacemaker, and I almost feel like that's a better name. It's like it truly isn't. It doesn't keep it right. It doesn't. It's not the rowdy kids and it's like let this settle this down. It truly is. I mean, the equalizer, man.
A peacekeeper is someone. There is some peace, and I'm going to make sure that it is maintained. He's like, no, there's no peace.
No.
I'm going to create it though. There will be silence after I show up.
I am the one who shoots is really what it feels like the Peacekeeper is kind of dishing out there. This is the Rift Portal animation available. Oh my gosh, right on top of the Tango.
He melted him. Absolutely did. Bloodhound was just trying to get out of the porta potty. It's a rude awakening.
Accelerant's going out. You may as well just eat them.
So one thing I want to ask you guys here, because I think it's with the youth of the game, it's interesting conversation. I think inventory management is something that not everybody has mastered yet at this point in time, and it changes from time to time. But the biggest thing is grenades. When do you and don't you based on availability of your backpack, and what are you willing to sacrifice to make that a thing, right? Do you go for the extra shots and the spare suppression fire, or do you go for that zone control and be like, because you only get 2 grenades per inventory slot, right? And so that makes it, if you have 6, that's 3 slots.
Being able to use grenades and throwables in combination with the single-shot high-impact weapons where you don't have to carry as much ammunition can really help, especially because you want to use the grenades to flush out your opponents, to give them that line of sight, because you're playing from a far distance. That's a good combo. What about you, Joe?
I also think it's relative on what role you're playing for your team. I mean, we take a look and see what we have Cyanide playing. He's playing more of this kind of up-close utility character, and because he's decided to actually use, he's got 6 grenades in his inventory, so he's got 2 or 3 sets of 2, and his style he's got with the Wingman and the R99, that's that I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna go attack you style, and so he can actually throw those grenades. His teammates can kind of throw down suppression fire, and then he can dive in and go in for those kind of closer range opportunities, and so I think that's kind of adding to his play style. But at the end of the day, when you're able to hit shots, doesn't matter how many grenades you're gonna need, because you're gonna be popping heads and knocking people down.
See that shield there out from the Gibraltar, the help on that trade, throws down the shield. If he goes over the hop, he will. He's got an advantage to shoot out. Gets a reveal with that nice Blood Hunter
and here
kind of
comes
reveal
the
there.
Gibraltar ult on top of him.
Oh, he uses the iframe out from the Wraith to get into the bubble. Clever play, and gets the res, but with the Gibraltar push.
Can they get the kills? Can they stay alive?
Yep.
So many things to find out. You're gonna have to tune in to Cyanide and Edberg's stream. We're gonna cut away real fast. We're gonna go check in with Mickey, Trimax, and everybody on Team Jump. Can you give this name a shot for me?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a default on that one.
What am I looking at?
Give me that team name.
Oh, that's My Hope of Wingo. Right?
No,
the team name? Oh, that is Die Dry, Egelin, Konij, and then it's a salute.
Twitch chat hates us right now. It's a salute.
No, but he's not wrong. The 07 is 07.
Yeah, it's a salute. Yeah.
I don't know. I've got a couple of German friends I probably should have called before that one, huh?
He got him up. Oh, down the Bangalore.
That was only capable because he is a medic, the lifeline.
He's the lifeline,
That's
puts
the
the shield out. It's a
Yeah.
great passive.
Yeah.
But that's a difficult decision that he had to make. Do I finish the Bangalore or do I try to get my teammate? And because you're the lifeline, you're like, I've got a shield, I get it faster. But unfortunately, it wasn't able to work out for him, and the other member was able to do it well. But oh, look how much health his teammate has.
Somebody's got a self-res, right? That's the only reason they
Yeah, the
haven't lost.
Bloodhound looks like he has a self-res.
Yeah, so he's going to have to be able to come back there. Not going to there, as we see them knocked out quite a bit earlier than we would expect.
All right, well, folks, been some crazy action so far. So much back and forth. I think there's only 3 teams that don't have over 100 points right now. It's been like Did we expect to see this many kills?
Yes and no. I mean, my first thing I would say is I've talked about how important the mobility and some of the map elements are. You aren't going to face a walking simulator. The balloons allow you to go, if I know there are people towards the edge, I'm going to push the edge, and I'm not going to risk my life. And so because of that, if kills are incentivized, mobility is higher than it ever has been. So debatably, this should be the most lethal battle royale we've seen to date.
And a lot of people playing Pathfinder, a lot of mobility, a lot of action happening so far. It's been fun, folks. We're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, more fantastic Apex Legends action coming at you. Don't go anywhere.
Introducing your
Mich würde mal
champion.
interessieren, ob der andere letzte Platz das Game gewonnen hat oder ob sie es verloren haben.
Good, I'm the jump master.
Ich bin Jumpmaster, ich übergebe.
Hallo, hallo?
Miki, du bist Jumpmaster, moin.
So.
Marschen.
So, wichtig für nächstes Mal, nicht wiederbeleben. Das hat uns das Game gekostet.
Na, wenn wir da geblieben wären, wo
vieles hat
Miki,
das Game gekostet.
wenn wir da
Also,
geblieben wären, wo Miki mich revived hat, das war eine
Nicht,
Posi
nicht Bärchen, in dem Moment, wo Trimax wiederbelebt, Deckung.
Ja,
Also,
Feuerschutz, hast du
ich
gesehen,
weiß gar nicht,
Miki?
wo ich anfangen soll.
Ja, also wir waren, wir waren kollektiv.
Vieles hat uns das Game gekostet,
Wir
war
waren,
nicht nur ein Fehler.
Ja, wir hatten da irgendwie.
Ganz viele Fehler gemacht.
Das Blöde ist, wenn man es
Wir.
halt weiß. Ja, wir alle. Los geht's.
So,
jetzt
aber ich
machen wir
sag
wieder
mal am Ende,
viele Kills.
hätten wir die Pose beim Haus behalten, da ist die Zone nämlich hingekommen und hätten Max nicht belebt, er hatte eh keine Waffe. Weißt du?
Ja, aber...
Aber ich habe das Schild, habe ich immer mit oder ohne was, hat Miki gesehen, das war strong.
Ach so, als er dich... Ja gut, ich hatte nur die Krabe auf Range, ne, und hab ihn auch getroffen, aber da muss ich halt erstmal eine Sekunde nachladen.
Ja, stimmt. Okay, wie sind die schon gelandet? Was für eine Scheiße.
Und dann wir halt hier. Hier ist ein Gegner. Ich habe keine Waffe.
Ich weiß nicht, wie ich zu dir kommen soll.
Aber ich habe eine Waffe. Einer low.
Was haben die für kranke Waffen? Ich kann nichts machen.
Die sind auch überall, Mann.
Digga, lila Rüstung einfach, das ist doch...
Das
Ich
sind
bin
zwei
kurz weg
Squads.
und
Ja,
komm
wir
wieder.
müssen-
Ich kann nichts machen.
Wir müssen ein bisschen weg.
Geht mal hinten raus. Hier ist Loot. Kommt hier hoch wieder, wo ihr hergekommen seid.
Hier kommen Gibraltar, Max.
Hier kommt Wraith von draußen.
Ich kann Q-Place. Lass ins Obergeschoss ins Q.
Ich raste hier gleich so aus.
Pass me that shit. Reloading.
Hab ihn, Mickey.
Hab ich gefinisht.
Just giving my shields a recharge.
Ich verblute.
Nee, der wollte einen Finisher machen, aber hab ich.
Champion out.
Habt ihr Wraith getötet?
Down.
Ja.
Kann ich jemanden noch
Der wollte
wiederbeleben?
einen Finisher auf Mickey machen, aber no way, bitch.
Sauber, Digga.
Sehr schön.
Will wir eine Prowler haben?
Hab ich selber.
Down auch noch.
So, weiter, Max, weiter. Direkt fighten.
Weiß ich.
Also,
Kannst du ihn
die...
beleben?
Mach ich. Q in 8 Sekunden.
Good looking out.
Oh, nicht fighten, die haben eine Longbow, die haben Sniper und sowas. Oder wir gehen hier ran.
Q in 2 Sekunden. Ich und Miki brauchen erstmal voll
Ja,
werden.
hätte Bock.
Q ist geplaced.
Say hello.
Die pushen. Pathfinder auf dem Dach.
Chill.
Geht nicht, Digga. Sind schon in mir.
Direkt vor uns. Der ist
Ja,
ultra
ja.
low. Die sind beide low.
Reload.
Ich bin halt unter denen, ne? gehe jetzt wahrscheinlich drauf.
Einer down.
Enemy down.
Ultra
Ja, ich
loaded
bin
einer.
down. Pathfinder hier hinten. Er belebt sein Mate. Hier. Er belebt.
Ja,
Komme ich.
Unten hier.
Einer
Der
down?
belebt ihn hier drin. Max, hier drin.
Ja, ich komme.
Er belebt ihn.
Welches Geschoss denn?
Keine Ahnung, die sind jetzt hier draußen. Finish ihn, ja. Hier ist noch
Der
was.
ist hier hoch gerade, lol.
Reload.
Hier draußen, Max, bei Mickey. Oben auf dem Dach.
Kommt.
Er kommt. Oh mein Gott. Ich lebe.
Lol.
Setting shield. You'll be alright.
Mach was.
What the fuck?
Ich bin geblockt. Ich bin down. Er hat Hits kassiert ein bisschen.
Er hat Schild. Ich hab einen Hit.
Komm wieder rein. Belebt Mickey.
Er hat ihn,
Belebt ihn.
glaub ich.
Enemy down.
Ich hab schon 4-mal getötet, aber der ist nicht gefinisht.
Was?
Der ist down.
Der liegt doch da noch.
Ja, ist ja okay. Hinter dir, Max. Von da kommt was. Aus Norden. Kannst mich schnell beleben?
Enemy taken out.
Aus der Richtung
Was
kommt
ist hier los?
Da kam das Smoke aus der
Der
Richtung.
hat das Game meines Lebens. Ich revive alle und töte alle. Q's geplaced
ist
bei
hier?
Hank.
If you need it.
Warum sterben die alle nicht?
Gegner geortet da unten.
Einer down, Insta-Finish.
Whole squad down.
Wir looten. Ey, ich brauch auch Sachen, ey.
Ja, ist gut.
Fuck, ich brauch jetzt schwere Muni ganz dringend, sonst ist low.
Not
Der hatte keine schwere Ammo.
half a minute.
Wir haben gerade 15
Kann
Kills gemacht. Hier braucht irgendjemand schwere Ammo.
Hier,
Da.
20 Ammo.
Okay, gut.
Komm, nimm noch mal 20.
Gut.
Warum
hab
ich
ich
gab?
nichts mehr.
5 Kills habe ich. Und 8
Nice.
Revives.
Ich habe einen.
Welcome back to Twitch Rivals. We've been watching ZF, Team ZF there in the break. They have been in the money the whole time, and we're excited to see if they can possibly take the win. Now, their team captain, Cyanide, is a great guy, fantastic character, and pretty good at playing some Apex. Let's get to meet Cyanide.
Side here. I'm with you now.
I hit him. No scoped him. Lit. Nice.
Finishing him real quick.
Dude, pick me up.
Push together. Knocked.
It's
One
an
more.
ult. It's an ultimate. Just there we are. Done.
Could have finished him for the win.
Boy, that Mirage finisher, just a nice, quick little turnaround, line dancing step.
Have you seen
gets me
his
every
secondary?
time.
Have you seen his secondary one as well?
I don't think so.
His secondary one is somebody's down and he literally comes up, and then it's actually his decoy because then he comes up and uppercuts him to the face, and then he fist bumps the other one and then he disappears. It's like the coolest.
the
It's like
trailer.
the most flashy, like unnecessary way to finish somebody.
There's nothing necessary about a finisher. It's only because you want to show off. It's fantastic.
I really enjoy it. Every one of them are pretty creative, and again, kind of cater towards those themes that each and every one of the characters in Apex Legends seems to have. And
I always try to do it at the wrong times. I was
I
like,
don't think-
mid-fight, finish this guy. Oh, wait, I'm dying now.
I mean, I'd correct that sentence and just say I don't think there's ever a wrong time to execute.
Hey,
Like,
I appreciate your confidence. I'm going to keep going.
You gotta commit to the style, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
And you
just
do it.
jumping over the wall. Peekaboo, hello. Sorry about you. Have fun looking at the loading screen, bud.
a lot of good loot there too. Double Phoenix kit helps so very much, along with the med kit. And the med kit is the healing tool that will heal all of your HP, but it takes significantly longer than the syringe. I believe it's up to 8 seconds roughly there.
But I think it takes 12 seconds in total to heal with just syringes, so it is still more clutch to carry than just syringes if you're low health.
Yeah, and that's not even getting into the inventory
rollback.
problem. Hey, yeah, that's something to kind of note here. That surprisingly, a lot of players, it seems like, moves past those little things. They make a very loud audio cue that you can sniff them out, and then depending on the color, the rarity increases.
I actually, for my today, I learned, it was this morning that I learned this actually. The official name of those things, they're called loot ticks.
Loot ticks.
Yeah, they're not loot crates. It's literally a loot tick.
It'd be really funny if,
Really?
if
Yeah,
if
that's
you
what
like.
they're called.
Aren't those the exact same thing that when I open an Apex pack? that comes out and drops. So I guess I automatically would have thought it's an Apex back 100%.
Yeah, but I guess they're
It is a loot. It is a loot tick. You can thank Eric Hewitt, Ghost Yame on Twitter for everybody. That man is a legend and is
How
fantastic.
funny would it be if it took 2 hits, 2 punches to open them, and the first punch would wake it up and it'd start to run away. And be like, no, stop, leave me alone.
Like a true loot goblin just like running away. Yeah.
I want that. I want your voiceover with it too. Oh no, leave me alone, leave me alone.
Yo, that nade actually was really well done. Got the knock as well, or at least a bit of the damage to be able to sniff it out. So
the Kobe.
Hang the wrist and walk away on that. There's the res. You see the nade attempt to be able to get the damage around. Good spray there. Gets the instant knock, and then Ally cleans up shop.
It's so good when you've got that digital threat on anything as well, because it gives you that kind of outline, which for potatoes like me that aren't always able to see them depending on what skin they have, it's pretty good.
And we did get a legendary armor there as well now for Cyanide. Cyanide, it was an executioner, but a bonus on that. Again, that does put you in a position to, when you do get that execution, full shields back. So it's actually one of the few times it might be worth, but again, you still lose your execution animation if you take any damage over that time frame.
Take a look at the standings here, see where our teams are at. Right now, Team Name still up on top. Team Main, I keep calling him Name, man, dyslexia is hard. Team Main up there on top by 30 points right now. Nordics forcing in the boys, coming into play, jumping up into second right now. And Team Pog kind of falling down a little bit, but still definitely in range of first place.
And he's got, you talk about the digital threat on SMGs and pistols, he's got the most beautiful of sniper scopes.
Yeah, the 10 times, or I believe it's a 410 sniper legendary, right?
610.
It's a 610, yeah, it is insane. And then it has that digital threat kind of capabilities of highlighting your opponents. But unlike the digital threat, it works at massive ranges. And even more so, it's very beneficial in the fact that it even, does have a zeroing capability, or at least, a measuring capability there off on the side, so you can help keep track of that with your team.
We're gonna go jump in with the team that I've decided to call Team Die or Dry.
Die or Dry?
Die or Dry. It's a ride or die. Never mind. Mickey, Trimax, and Hanky here trying their best.
It's just like you with that reference there, Waypunk.
Trying.
But they're trying to figure it out here. I do want to pose a question when it comes to some of the gun selection on the Hemlock. It's one that I look at and I go, it's a heavy, it's got AR, it's got a lot of tools. But every time I get my hands on it, I'm like, I'm not sure I like this compared to some of the other.
So Courage stood tried and true when this game first came out that was his favorite gun because of the single fire. I didn't believe it at first, but after playing it, I think I'm pretty confident. Outside of the Devotion, which is my favorite gun in the game, Hemlock is a close second because you have so much punching power. Yeah, you're not going to win against
starkly different choices.
It is. It's two very different choices. But you're not going to have the fire rate of something like a carbine and R301, but you're going to have the stopping power because it does more damage with that heavy ammo.
Most of these weapons you got to see in some form or fashion, some iteration in Titanfall 2, and the Hemlock was maybe my least favorite AR in Titanfall 2, but I definitely will pick it up here in Apex, and I think it's mostly, you ever notice that like sometimes the things you like in games are just related to like, what did I happen to do well with one time, and what did I happen to not do well with? I feel like the Hemlock has just always kind of been my kryptonite, so I just haven't picked it up as much. No fault of the gun. Just all operator.
No, when it's relying purely on your feels rather than like objectively, does this seem like it makes sense?
I think it's a good gun.
But that kind of like brings up the point. How does it feel? That's what is so great about this game, and we're getting to see every time we swap to a different streamer. There's a couple, that have the wingman, and that's kind of their primary gun. But everybody has a different loadout. Everybody has something different that they enjoy.
Hanky here's rocking the EVA 8, the auto shotgun. I don't think we've seen anybody rocking that yet.
No, and like everybody talks about the Peacekeeper, right? It's so much damage, it's so good, and it's got the pretty much railgun attachment capabilities on top of it. But that I think it probably overshadows the EVA 8 more than it should. The EVA 8 is actually still very lethal, extremely high fire rate, especially depending on the attachments you can get on top of it.
Higher capacity per reload.
Absolutely, and so it is definitely nothing to kind of scoff at there.
So can we talk about this right now? Hanky just ulted as Bloodhound. Tell me what this does.
So he's going to go into hyper mobility here as you see the increased movement speed, and then anybody who is going to be around him within a short distance, even if they're covered by smoke or something like, he will be able to see it. It'll highlight. He's essentially a digital threat or a highlighter like on that scope that we saw before.
Finds one.
I like to consider him as he goes in predator mode.
Yep.
If anybody's seen the old movie Predator,
He's
that's what I think of when I see this, because he's super fast, he's super agile, he can track like a maniac, and oh, by the way, he also can just shoot you.
He's a predator with a gun.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that a lot of players, when they first see that, underestimate is the mobility he gains. His passive movement speed is insane. And, not to rehash some, old school video game kind of rules here, but any mobility works both offensively and defensively. And so being able to be that I initiate, but then also disengage appropriately while having the scouting information of a Bloodhound is great, which there comes in the scanner.
As a utility, you can see through walls, ping players, and kind of show where they were at that moment. There's Lifeline challenging him, but it's not going to be any good.
He actually had a little bit of difficulty at first. He's running the Epic's coach, which is the 3x HCOG, which actually zooms in your ADS a lot higher, which actually can be a little bit of difficulty. But thankfully, because of this type of player that we see on the screen, he's able to, get himself shots. Now he's going to swap over. He actually swaps back over to that EV8 auto shotgun.
He's got the epic shotgun bolt attachment there on top of it, so it's really going to help when it comes to the accuracy and kill potential there out of that EVA 8. And as I said before, I do think the Peacekeeper, the Peacemaker, Maintainer, whatever the heck it is here at this point in time, it does make the EVA 8 look like it is a questionable choice, where it very much is not. It is a very good shotgun here. For me, the only shotgun, that I have second guesses towards is the Mozambique, and legitimately is only because its ammunition is so low with its damage situation. It's like,
but okay, realistically though, do you actually think the Mozambique would be overpowered if you upped it to like 5 or 6 shots or something like that?
It is one of those like when you go of like balance, right? Like it becomes really difficult of like what's the line in and out.
Was it you that was suggesting the idea of dual wielding?
Yeah, I talked about it a little bit, that you could like essentially dual wield the opportunity and might be able to help with them a little bit, but I think you would have to adjust some of the numbers overall and then work towards that.
Just
balance is hard.
2 shots, just 2. It's basically like a double barrel shotgun.
Yeah.
Jump back over here with Team ZF. Right now, doing quite well.
Nice. More shots.
Got a great flank there. Cyanide popping off to say the least here, I feel. We got a lot of tangos sitting across there of the river. I believe in total there's 2 zip lines that go across by default. Clearly with a Pathfinder that can change to be colossally higher than that. But it makes it easy to defend off of those choke points if you have the high ground, which currently on the side that they reside, they do not.
Edberg's been playing Bloodhound all day. He's very high in the kills overall. He's at 6.7 average kills a game right now.
And what place is ZF at?
I believe ZF, well, let's just take a look at the standings. Let's find out here. What place are they at? Oh, right now in 3rd. Yep, gonna stay in 3rd there after the point change. Team Main staying up on top, and Nordics holding steady at 2nd.
And the reason why I asked this kind of plays into a point that you were making earlier, Wavepunk, is that sometimes this kind of slower strategy does pay out. Something that ZF has done. They started, they weren't so very high. They weren't, whopping up with 100 kills or anything like that right from the beginning, but they were slow, they were consistent, and they're winning their games, which, yes, it takes you a little bit longer, and you run that risk of if you don't get a high kill game, then you're going to have yourself in a difficult situation. But these guys are playing so smart, and they're making sure that they end as quickly as possible.
Team ZF has played 2 less games than Team Main, who's in 1st, but again, you have a time limit. There's no game limit. You can play as many games as you want, so as you can fit into the 4-hour period. So right now, actual game count doesn't matter. It's how many wins and kills can you get.
Edberg just dinked with a Spitfire over 200, like almost 300 meters, 4 or 5 shots in a row. Like, he was standing still, yes, but my goodness, like this gun is not your long-range lethal. That was a great amount of spray to be able to get out early. That being said, clearly things are getting tough. The ultimate already popped. Got 1 res available.
He did the long range dinks, but he doesn't want to wait any longer. He's going to come right around the corner and kind of help out his teammates. They're able to get the bleed out until the full kill.
And you can see him, he's chasing, he's tracking right now.
In hot pursuit, as they see those feet popping up before, he sees another one off to the left. They went straight. There's the reveal, 20 damage. Still, as you see the blue shielding come up, showing that they do have blue armor, 150 HP available on those targets at maximum.
which actually in reality doesn't scare him off too much because he knows there's not as much effective shield as something like an epic or a legendary. He makes that conscious decision to stay, and it's something that kind of shows how skilled of a player that we're seeing on the stream. Because you're able to see the colored markers, you can make that instantaneous decision. Do I want to keep going, or do I want to back off based on what kind of armor they have?
And that for me is one of the coolest elements of the game. It makes you be able to make an educated decision in every initiation that you have whatsoever based on that information. Though you may not always be accurate, you are not left in the dark and going, I wonder what he had, right? We know that's 150 HP as they find themselves the first knock.
Goodness.
Looking for a second there as the Mirage actually buys a bit of time. At least 3 shots that are out of Edberg, but you know, the Mirage, he doesn't last too long, about as long as his clone.
163.
And down to, I believe they're now top 2.
They got the fast heal backpack.
Yeah, if I had to choose outside of the sniper scope, if you are a really good sniper, the best legendary equipment that I think you have in the game is that backpack. Not only do you get the maximum amount of item slots, but you get that fast heal, which is huge. And oh my
goodness.
You want to talk about a double high roll? That right there, it's going to be the Kraber.
And he's got the beautiful, the epic, it's a bold, shiny purple, dude. This is one of my favorite skins for the Kraber.
And just 2 squads left. He's 3 shots away from a win.
The wrong thing.
How many kills do you think he gets? How many kills do you think he gets?
I'm gonna say 1 knock and then 1 final kill.
Ooh, see, that was where I was gonna head to. I'm a little tilted, so I'm going confidently double kill. He's gonna headshot 1.
Oh, we both lose.
We're all wrong. No, come on, dude. I mean, he has the legendary Peacekeeper, but still. Oh.
Okay, it should be noted, right? Like, we're all reacting up here, but it's not like that's a misplay. It's just showing that he doesn't want a long-range poke over this last initiation, that eventually he's gonna have to move up. And to be frank, he's a Bloodhound. Like, he doesn't want to sit in the back, right? So, like, I think it's a fair choice.
Lots of shots. That hits really well. It knocks down the that knocks down the epic armor as well. Even gets shots down on the spray.
Oh.
Not the lippy
There he
ones.
goes. Wraps around. Should be able to finish.
Oh, one more left
There's
alive before they have it. It's going to be it. Champion again. Let's go. I think this is the Twitch rivals' luck because both times that they've won, or the last 2 times that they've won, they've been on screen.
It's all because of us. You're welcome, guys. Now we can go check in with the Kingsmen. We watched them at the top of the day. Sakril, Stoda.
It's confident why they're winning. Did you see that Skinergy?
Oh yeah, this is the full red.
Perfect red tint across the board. No wonder they're just smacking the kids.
Beautiful stuff. Now here we go. Jump back in with Sakril and the boys. Sakril has been playing Mirage all day. His high kill is 7.
You know, I am not a Mirage main here, Jump, so I'm going to go ahead and ask you, since you do consume more of the Mirage. When you know, every character can fight at all ranges, right? But what do you think his abilities, what ranges of fighting do you think he's enabled towards, and like, what is that going to change when it comes to the kit?
So I think I'm gonna answer this question slightly deflect, but more go towards Sakril as a player.
Okay.
And I talked about this a little bit earlier. Sakril is not the one that's known to outshoot you 1v1. He's not a Shroud, but what he is he's extremely intelligent.
Okay.
And Mirage, because of what he provides with his tactical and ultimate ability, he has really great repositioning capabilities. And Sakril, as a player, knows that. He knows how to rotate. He knows how to move around. And so if you actually end up watching him when he decides to throw his decoys out, it's because, all right, look, I'm going to throw my decoy to go through the middle of this artillery strike. I'm going to reposition around. Might fail to get up the rock, but it's okay because I'm still going to stay in cover because I've got the scout as well as the Spitfire to be able to get it mid-range.
Yeah, Mirage does open up, I feel like, a lot of different play styles here. And I think you're right. He is kind of one of those, because he is so heavy on the, I'm going to say this once and leave it at once, because if you play him, you'll hear the voice line more than enough. The bamboozle, you know, the one time there. That it is very good to be able to get that flank and set up for the team. And my goodness, that Spitfire value right there, as you see a lot of damage there. And the biggest thing I wanted to bring up with the Spitfire is just its ammo capabilities. The fact that you're sitting at the 55 with only a blue upgrade. That's why you can trade so hard with that heavy ammunition. I mean, that right there just covered a whole corner.
Holds the angle, doesn't allow him to move, allows his teammates to get the flank. But another squad rolling in. So they'll maybe get the finish there.
What you have to do, though, which Sakril is doing extremely well, is making sure that you understand spray control.
Yeah.
Because the Spitfire, one of the ways that they balanced it to make it a fair gun is that, yeah, it's got a 55 round clip with only a blue attachment for the mag, but it sprays around a lot if you're not careful. And Sakril did a really good job at understanding that spray control.
Well, let's listen into Sakril and the boys, see what they're thinking here.
Yo, I need heavy ammo big time.
Oh yeah.
Death box here.
Both these bodies like 20 hundreds.
Okay. Anyone need nades? I've got 8.
Need shotgun.
So much meds I need for these two. And bigger shields and stuff. Okay, running, looking for fights.
Did we hear anything, Skulltown?
Yeah, I need to heal.
Recharging shield.
No, on there.
I've got 2 nades.
Heal, break.
Taking a moment to heal.
First team has 6 wins. Holy shit.
I think we're on 5.
Yeah, but they have 196 points apparently.
Is everyone else just dropping 30 bombs every game or something? What the fuck?
I don't know. Yeah, must be. Over here. Just seen shots over here. Push to us.
I'm gonna balloon.
Enemy over there.
Where are they in the bunker?
I don't know.
Wait, where?
Shots over here.
Okay.
Marked over here.
Okay.
What? That's so far away.
Miles away. Yeah, but that's where the fight is. What do we do?
Yeah, okay.
Got me. Close, Sack.
Map shows we're spread out. Just passing that info along.
Firing.
Down. Pushing.
Tango down.
Yeah, with you.
Yeah.
In the building, what? Opposite side of the map.
Loading.
Someone's over there.
Let's go here.
Finish one.
Confirm kill.
Trust in the aura.
On you, break, care.
Yeah. Above the hill. Another team coming in.
Push. Yeah, that's good.
Someone's got to take out the new kill leader. They're too cocky.
Nades. On break.
Yeah, they're just right here, around this corner.
Frag out. Right, frag out.
You see them getting in the engagement here, and you heard Sacral kind of trying to speculate, why are we not in first place? We've been playing really well. Is everybody dropping 30 bombs? Yes, Sacral, that's exactly what's happening. 29 kills over and over again. Team made up at 196. They're almost at 200 points. Holy crap. These guys are cranking them up, and almost everybody breaking into the 3-digit club.
Can I just say that there's a level of beauty in the fact that Mirage, when being upset at the people who are in the lead, sounds exactly like, some of our other streamers and things are like that with disrespect. Like having the opportunity to be like, this guy's cocky, like take him down. I love that. Like, I feel like we need a Dr. Disrespect Mirage skin now. Like, my goodness.
He was doing just doing his best Dr. Disrespect impression. I like. Let's go check in with Team Main. They have been absolutely lighting up the scoreboard, sitting up on top, #1 right now, and they are in the middle of fights again. This is how they've racked up the points time and time again.
And this is the purest example of why they're in the lead, because all 3 people are fighting 3 separate people all at the same time. They're not all focusing down one person. They're all in their own little mini fights. Now, unfortunately, Roby did end up going down, but it doesn't mean that he's out quite yet. As finding himself in a good spot. Pathfinder does a really good job at popping what looks like almost to be like an EpiPen right to his chest.
Yep. And a small little, Snapple fact coming into play here is that while you are knocked down, you still can interact with those doors and still have the opportunity to close. So, anything you can do to use the first down knockdown shield to block off shots off of your ally that is still alive, but then also, closing off the corridor to help with that res is very beneficial here.
We got the whole team up. Everybody's got some shields. 2 players not yet healing. We'll see. Make our Chocotaco here get off the syringes. Be able to get ready to re-engage, and they haven't been pressed by the opponents they were dealing with.
Really good decision, actually, to try to get the flank around instead of trying to get that full heal, because he understood that they were trying to come in and pick off. And again, great shots coming out of the Peacekeeper. Able to pick themselves up. Now, he has all the opportunity to not only heal up, but also get all of their loot.
Check in with Mikolau. Same team, same fights.
One thing I did like about that last skirmish is that we had, Mikolau kind of attacking from one angle, and then also we had the Peacekeeper approach there from Agatog, I believe it is, on the other side. And just really good bobbing and weaving, right? Like, we were talking about, they're isolating targets, and they're all just 1 versus 1 outplaying, and then when there is only 1 kill target and pressure's on, just never attacking from only one direction.
And what also makes it even more unbelievable how good these players that prioritize the Peacekeeper are. There's not a single gun that currently exists in Apex Legends right now that isn't hit scan. Every single gun is actually a projectile, including the Peacekeeper. So the way that you're able to actually predict the shots just shows how good of a shooter you really are.
Yeah, and Mikolau did not hesitate to put on a clinic on how good of a shooter he was there.
Yeah.
That scout with the 3-time HCOG, like he was actually popping off with the damage he had there onto that Pathfinder. They're caught up in the choke. It looks like it's a 2 versus 1 now. Remaining is the last target up there. You see the pings kind of being spammed by Mikolau. Another thing you can do while being knocked, still ping the enemies. But it looks like they found themselves that knockdown. Just throw down a Bangalore smoke and get the easy res here.
Gotta play it safe. There's still a lot of players left alive in this lobby. There's still 10 teams. It looks to be 28 players left alive, so...
28 players left, and Mikolau's already gotten 6 kills. So plenty of room to continue to dominate. Interesting thing here, because there's respawns in this battle royale. It used to be like, okay, if you had a 60-player lobby, your team is 3. That means the max kills you can get in this lobby is 57, theoretically. It's not going to happen, but that is technically the max. Not anymore. Technically, you could kill someone.
Yeah.
Teammate respawns them. You can kill them again.
Yeah, that's what, hopefully I can find a badge that like later in life I killed the same player like 5 times or something where you made someone's day just actual hell.
That'd be such a good badge is you get this badge if you kill someone multiple times in a game.
In the same game, yeah. I feel like doing it twice would be...
Yeah, but
it's more
like
possible than I think
it's one of those things where it's like the second, like the first time it happens, you're like, all right, they just killed me for a second time, and then like you're able to somehow get respawn, and then they kill you again. That's when you just like put down your keyboard and mouse, and you just go take a walk in the park. Like you need to breathe for a second because you just got bodied 3 times in a row.
Yeah, it's about sending a message for sure. Once you get to the 3rd set there, really good use there. Not quite the dinks there on the zip that
didn't quite
out of that, but
that'd have been my favorite moment of the stream so far if you pulled off those shots.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. Every time I'd get on a zipline and try and do the same thing, it's about the same. Like it's very hard to hit those shots there.
You're painting a silhouette around their character.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to know if Mikolau gets these shots, tune into his stream right now. We're gonna go jump in with the Kingsman. Go back over to Sacriel, Stoda, and Break, who are in a fight.
Right, shield back tune and then...
Another Cascade kind of skirmish here with that high ground. We do see the scout up in the top half there for Sacriel. That will help out a lot with this kind of range of a skirmish. A Mastiff. I mean, it's just a threat to be reckoned with there whenever he gets to the close range, and a nice longbow to balance out the kit here from this teammate.
Takes a lot of confidence to be able to run that combination as well, because you don't have a mid-range.
Yeah.
You've got a long range and you've got a short range. So thankfully, he has the Bangalore, so he can use those smokes as a reposition tool. And we haven't really talked about it. Bangalore's passive
is
phenomenal because it gives you that ability to reposition because you get sped up when people shoot at you.
Yeah, and it's pretty insane.
It's the most realistic passive that has ever existed in a VR. Wow, you run faster.
Oh, there's bullets on my leg. Now let's move fast.
Oh, that was a nice 124 with that longbow. He's trying to move up. It's funny, you just pointed out the confidence have to be displayed, and he's kind of struggling with the longbow versus short range now. Got another shot there. One into the back line, missed there. 2 shots left. And that's all she wrote there. Massive, and he's going to play up.
Okay, so he did something that is an undervalued tactic that I think really shows how much Shota's been playing this game. With Caustic's barrels, as you're well aware, it essentially just neutralizes any chance of pushing in. If you're the enemy and you shoot the base of that barrel, it disapparates almost instantly, which is a great countermeasure tactic that they put in. He's able to do that. He hits the shots with the Massive, champion yet again for the Kingsman.
And even on top of that, beyond the educated choices being made there, pointing out the fact that he understands with the Massive and the flank he had on that lifeline that I'm going to go with a full Phoenix kit priority, knowing we have the advantage in this final fight. I'm going to go for that res, and with the Massive trade-off afterwards, it's likely he's going to win those shots. Even if he missed a few, I think he far and above made the right choice. But at first, I was like, is he going to drop this Phoenix kit and go for the Massive kind of kill onto that lifeline for free?
More kills, more wins. So they've continued to rack up the points. Here's Break's perspective on the victory.
Same.
Just look at that. He's like, hey, look at my bird. There's nothing you can do with the bird.
No, I think it's just a thematic thing of he's got kind of like the Raven, kind of the Black Plague thing on there. So
I think he's just one with the animals. It feels like he's a beast himself.
We'll go check back in with Team Pog. Our early tournament leaders, who's still definitely in the game.
Got 2 knocked in this situation, so not too many Pogger moments. Actually, great use of interweaving his left click down there to try and get those shots and block some of that sniper damage coming through. Not enough to be able to keep him up, though.
Team main still up on top. Team Nordic's ZF, Pog, all in the runnings. Kingsman, Apex, Tosis.
And a dancing pig.
Dry, Salty Sandwich, they're passing. They've been bringing up the rear for a while now, tied with DrDre, so creeping up the kills there, creeping up the rankings, creeping up the money.
213 points. Now, Wavefront, you're the one with all the magic on our stats. How many kills do they actually have?
How many kills does who have?
Team Maine, who's in first place. 213 points.
I think they were the first team to break 100.
They were, yeah.
How many games deep are we? 3 to 4,
right?
Right
now, they are looks like 9 to 10 games in.
Okay.
So we'll check back in with DrDre, see how they're doing, and I'll let you know as soon as the magic voice in my ear tells me how many kills Team Maine has. Now here's an interesting fact that we have also been keeping track of how many times a legend is picked.
Okay. Who's the highest?
That's what I want you guys to guess.
Oh, if I was to guess the highest, I would definitely say it's been either Bangalore or Wraith. One of those two.
I'm gonna hard commit to one because I'm not indecisive.
Okay, I will say it's the Wraith. I'm
gonna say it's Bangalore.
You say it's Bangalore. You're both right. Bangalore is number 1. Wraith is 3rd, and it's the Bloodhound actually that is 2nd right now.
Yeah. Bangalore Bloodhound synergy is really.
Right now, Bangalore is at 25% pick rate. And Caustic and Gibraltar actually bringing up the rear right now.
I want to know where my boy Pathfinder sits at.
He is 2nd to last.
I
figured he'd be low.
I just want to comment on that donation.
Yeah, you like it?
Did you see that? He's just, the money is just raining down on him. That was pretty stellar.
Fantastic.
The creativity that these streamers have on their notifications makes me extremely jealous.
My favorite thing about Twitch is, hey, it's a show, and you are the producer and the host and
everything.
the graphics producer and everything. You got an idea? You got to get it past a committee of 1.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, I did that one time and did a Raid Night cosplay. It was definitely it was a high risk situation. Making fun of your boss, apparently, not always the brightest choice you can have there in life.
Or a great choice, depending on who your boss is and what your job is.
They got a pressure here on the choke. I guess that one guy on the roof is enough. They got a guy flanking down from the ground, but as you see, Bangalore taking the shots on the right side, gives that mobility pass. They're going to push. Should be a pretty easy kill here onto the top target. Yeah, as you see that nice peacekeeper maintaining the peace.
He made it, maintained it, sustained it. We'll go check in with Team Nordic. Nothing's going over here for Forcing and the boys. They're dropping on in.
Forcing dealing with the eternal struggle of the ring right now.
It's so frustrating when you can see the edge of it in front of you and you just can't catch it.
Dude, the best part about it for me is like the weird off-brand hypnotone noise it makes, where it's like, it's like a distorted didgeridoo as you're just kind of like floundering to death.
It's a fantastic description. They did a great job making the ring unenjoyable. Don't sit in the ring, folks.
I'll tell you this much. You don't question when it starts moving, is that a good or a bad one? You definitely know quickly that's a no-go ring. Yeah, that's the circle we get out of.
I have friends who are, he's got people in front of him, just sits in the ring. One's like, what? Why is this orange shooting at me?
Interesting choice to be able to swat targets there. Once realizing the one on the right had no shields, but the one on the left did have blue shielding. Oh, just only because the higher risk to get the trade-off there, but at least getting the damage out, maybe zoning off because the circle is so high pressure at this point in time. Just around to the break here, and the first circle, it does damage, but it's not high enough that you're always like, oh, we got to get out of this second. You're willing to take a couple of trades like that once in a while.
But something that they did really good design-wise with this is because you walk and run slower when you're actually popping meds, it's not something that you can just loot up outside the ring and then try to get yourself medded in, because you are going to be getting into that ring a lot slower, and it will end up being detrimental to you and the resources that you have, because things like medical supplies are so scarce in the earlier stages of the game.
Yeah, and I very much agree with that. The only composition and character, I think, again, is the Pathfinder can sit on the outside with the team if they want to do so, because ziplining moves significantly faster than maximum sprint. But it is crazy. Between that and the ballooning, the late game choices and some of the areas of pressure onto the map, I think, are very, very cool. And honestly, I think the metagame and evolution of those as time goes on is probably going to be a extremely complex but, beautiful thing to watch unfold.
Can we also just comment on how beautiful the color scheme of Orb's background is?
It's fantastic. He's got a fantastic setup. Like, so many different colors, all kind of, they got a very cool tone going on, a nice rainbow across all of it. Beautiful use of lights all the way around, and well-lit face as well. A good setup with some of the biggest headphones I've ever seen. He's got two, like, cereal bowls strapped to his, ears.
I think that is the
Are those
Razer
the
headset.
Krakens? Those might be. Oh, they might be.
I think we should
He's sponsored by Razer, so I'm going to assume so.
Oh, okay. That's a great. That's a pretty good assumption you got there, Jay.
I assume by that Razer thing on the bottom, I just went with like it has to be, but maybe not the case.
Let's go for that.
What is red mark?
I think
They're going with the balloon
gonna
drop
go through
here.
that on the
Iowa pressuring up early. Or Koa, excuse me.
With a beautiful lavender little slipstream.
Also, can we talk about Orb's Twitch handle? Twitch.tv/orb, O-R-B.
Yeah,
that is clean as it can get.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Popsy, old of the Bloodhound, Beast of the Hunt, as it's called.
And he's got a setup for it. Spitfire Peacekeeper, that's what you want. With that mobility, that much information, as he gets the scan. Oh, this flank. Oh, one more.
Two more. Three more.
He just broke shields. There's the knock. One left.
He's got 20 seconds left.
Finish him.
Still on that tactical ability. So
Dude, what does a finisher look like when you're in the hunt?
It's monochromatic the same way you are. I have no idea.
I hope so. That'd be so cool.
Ooh, good light there. Able to break the shields, but not enough for the kill. See if his teammate, Koa, pressuring, should be able to clean up. He took the portal out. I don't believe they actually secured it here. But that res spot that's over the wall that it looks like the opponent was looking to pressure is unrealistic considering how successful this squad is here.
Nice, dead.
Got him.
There's the last member of the squad, the two that they took out prior, which now gives them an opportunity to not have to be worried. Gonna take the portal of the enemy and go straight into things.
Oh no!
There you go. He's gonna come right around the corner. A couple shots coming off. His teammate's gonna be able to finish it out. Nice little job by them. Another kill goes in the counter and another point on the board.
That's honestly a really hard situation to deal with. They actually had a multi-group initiation, though it looked like it was a singular group, right? Like that, I thought that third tangle was absolutely a part of the first initiation, right? But it is actually somebody else. And the fact that they're splitting, but still remaining, kind of concerted with their efforts here, that's the difference between us and them, really.
Now, while these fights continue, they just continue to roll one into another. We're gonna check in with Team Main. I believe this is a replay. Look at the kill counter in the upper right. 14 kills just on Mikolau as they roll in on the last squad.
Got a lot of shots.
Such great crouch control as well. Get over the
Jesus,
Pathfinder across the grapple to come through. The enemy's running away. He doesn't want any part of this. He's gonna do a nice little 360, and that's gonna be a champion.
Now, hold on. Watch the kill count. Oh, they didn't show it at there. It's 32 kills that game.
This is insane.
Bad, actually.
32.
I don't know what to say. I'm in awe at this point. It's like when does it stop? Because we are nowhere near the end of all the action here with Apex Legends, and it feels like we just keep setting the bar a smidge higher here.
All right, now we heard Sakura talking earlier about 30 bombs. We didn't actually have one. We had a bunch of 29s.
Oh yeah.
So finally, Team Main up in first, continuing to run away with that lead. They drop a 30 bomb.
So now, looks like Mikolau's going to make that conscious decision to go with the Devotion. Doesn't have any attachments for it quite yet. And it does find yourself in a rough spot if you're not able to get a turbocharger early because you have that long windup. And yeah, it does take it, but now he takes it off. And ooh, baby, that's going to be the R301.
They're up by 34 points right now. That's for most teams, it's going to take them 2 games just to tie with Main, who are still continuing to build this lead. But now everybody in the 3-digit category as well. So everyone getting involved, having a good time. Nobody being left firmly behind.
This is a big enough circle that at this point in time, it's unlikely that we're going to see them get stuck into the heavy initiation or kind of lose-lose scenario at this point in time. They are approaching from the high ground section, so they can really kind of sit above, hover, and scout if they would like to do so due to lack of fall damage. Also, a couple of clever zip lines. There are really no risky choices at this point in time. It's probably one of the better, approaches just purely off of the vantage that they actually have. And even with a circle this big, it's not confident that somebody will, in fact, be at this point in time. Even over I believe it is the Cascades. There's the zip line into zip.
My stomach kind of like balls up every time.
Really?
That fall, man. Yeah.
Do you not like roller coasters? Are you a roller coaster fan?
It's not an unenjoyable feeling. It's just like whoo, like I feel the motion,
I envy you. As a roller coaster junkie, I envy you. I wish I got that.
I hate roller coasters.
You don't. It's just motion for you. It's not fun.
It's adrenaline, man. Anything you can do to pretty much make my adrenaline go up, I'm like, oh, let's do it more.
I'm actually like terrified of roller coasters. I like hate roller coasters.
I was not a fan of roller coasters for the longest time. I finally did one as an adult and was like, oh, this wasn't as bad as the traumatic experience I had when I was 13.
I was the kid you were annoyed with my level of enthusiasm and how many times I went through the same roller coaster. It's a problem in my life. Actually.
I hope you never change. The world needs more enthusiasm. Mikalau, on the difficult, what do? I don't have enough inventory space. What is the right place?
He was sitting on 14 shield cells as well. Like, he's expecting to get in a firefight holding on to that many shield cells.
Yeah, I think the biggest call there would be, first of all, question whether or not you want to ammo swap whatsoever, or if you're comfortable going with the double light. He says he's comfortable with double light at that point in time. So then, yeah, you got to start looking at that. Do I really need this many shield cells? Especially when we consider that a shield cell versus battery is very different when it comes to the value it has. Having the battery and having the opportunity to full heal is a lot more effective.
So reposition onto the other side of bunker here. Bunker's probably my favorite drop. Do you guys have a favorite?
Really?
Yeah, but I think bunker's my favorite. My favorite drop actually.
It's bunker. Like, there's a lot of good loot, but like we said earlier, just like the crazy choke point. I'm scared of bunker. I've seen so many bad things happen in bunker. All the like top clips of like just a squad wipe with like a caustic and stuff like that happen in bunker. You know.
So the only reason I love bunker, and it's purely from a strategic standpoint, is that everybody lands and they go, we're gonna 3-man one side. If anybody's there, we're gonna go into bunker. We're gonna figure out the fight. My answer is I'm gonna 2-man drop the opposite side, have a 1-man split with a late flank, and then put you in a lose-lose on the stairs. That's why I like bunker, right? Other than that, I feel like it's just the strategic outplay, and like, do we take this land and do we push this choke?
I like it for the pure aspect of early game rotations, because you're in a central part of the map, and because both rotation spots to the east and the west are pretty open.
Yeah.
You have a pretty good opportunity, and you're never really gonna end up as a 3-man squad leaving bunker without a decent amount of loot. Like, there's 3 supply crates on each side. You've got all the rooms inside, as well as the easy rotation spots across the board. So I just like it from that aspect, and it's just pretty cool.
My favorite drop spots are actually there's a significant amount of chests, supply crates just sitting out in the open in unnamed areas, and one of my favorite spots is actually just west of wetlands. There's the west side of wetlands has a nice cliff face. You pass through that, there's kind of a skeleton. There's a bunch of them under there, and then there's a road just to the west of that.
Yeah.
You can go loot that area, then push into wetlands and pick up the team that's looting the normal high drop area. Oftentimes you get the third party, and then you get wetlands for free with kills as well. That's where I land the most often.
Little grind, little skateboard grind
nice
tactic there.
Tony Hawk homage, I like it.
So 10 squads.
Hey, look up at the banner. Look up at yourself. No, surely they're there.
They know.
They have to be.
They know.
Still supply chests open, or excuse me, closed at this point in time. One thing to keep in mind with this game with the supply chests, though it may seem subtle at first, it's very, very important at this level of play and as time goes on, is that you can't close chests. It essentially goes, if you were going to search for the loot, you have to reveal that you will always have been here. Otherwise, you would just see a bunch of closed one everywhere. And so in moments like this, in the center of the map, a very high, tense moment that likely the circle is going to zone around, it's a questionable thing in the fact that there are so many supply chests that are available. It just puts you in a weird situation of like, you don't know what everybody's thought process is. We've already seen them back through it twice without opening to it. And again, I think that's based off the information given up.
Oh, the Gibraltar shield, though.
I was just waiting for him to snipe the guy as he fell off of the cliff.
It's also the no fun dome.
These scout shots are pretty clean.
Really,
nice bold zip.
Yeah, it's a really aggressive zip line, but thankfully he's able to have the teammates that can get it down. There's still multiple members. Ooh, just under the press. And there you go. That's the opportunity. Because he knew he broke the shield, that was an immediate chance for him to be able to go through and try to be able to finish the kill, because he knew he was going to be hitting flesh, and the enemy was going to have to find some way to get those shields back up as they're able to get the full squad wipe and take control of this compound.
Now, so we've been keeping track of kills for many teams. We're keeping track of class kills as well. Let me show you here. Right now, Robbie up on, it looks like Bangalore, has 63 kills. Edberg on his Bloodhound has 57. And Mikalau down there on Pathfinder, on your boy Pathfinder, 84 kills.
I'm proud to see that at least one Pathfinder made its way to that status.
And he's on top. Wait. Is that 63 as well with a Gibraltar?
Yeah, that's a Gibraltar out of mine.
Rocking it.
But see, I think like this leaderboard right here shows how viable all of the different legends are currently. Because you have 63, 71, 80, all of them, and it's all in somebody different.
They're all over the place. Mikkel out. 84 kills. Pathfinder, that's crazy. He's continuing to add more to it here.
Killer robot just jumping off of the cliff straight towards you.
No
terrifying notion.
Doesn't even feel bad about it, man. You can't feel anything.
One thing that's really smart about that last initiation we just got out of Mikkel was when you have the scout into a Gibraltar, knowing that the shield is going to be up there and that he's going to trade off and that you aren't going to ever hit the headshot that you need, just throw shots into him as fast as you can, break the shields as quick as you can.
The Gibraltar got off his ult right before he died. They're like, okay, let's go loot. Oh, wait.
Do you know what Pathfinder's real name is?
I mean, pick one out of the 12 that the internet decided, or are you really going to hit me with a real?
A real.
Oh, you aren't going to
Frederic Lestrange.
No, it's Marvin. M-R-V-N. I'm like hitting myself because I don't remember what the actual like thing stands for.
Okay.
But it's Marvin. M-R-V-N from the Delight of Titanfall lore.
Can we change it to Frederic Lestrange?
No, I want Marvin.
I like.
How scary is it that the killer robot's name is Marvin?
I think for me, one of the scariest things about him is how cheerful he is, but also like at the same time he's like gonna rip your soul. Like one of my favorite selection lines is like, "Good luck, have fun, don't die," and it's like that.
Oh
like,
dear, please.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for putting it straight forward, dude. Like, and it's like he's so positive, but he's kind of like half flaming you to some level.
It's like finding out the hitman is named Glenn or something.
Rest in peace, Glenn.
There's the standings right now. Some people adding their point totals, but no movement on the board. Nordic hanging on to second place.
The slow creep
teams in the 2-0 category.
The slow creep from Nordics, though, they just got themselves that extra 6 points, so a little bit of a clamor up. They do have quite the hill left to climb, though, as 27 points stands between them and first place. So lots of work yet to be done. But as we've seen, they started off a little bit slow, and they've still been able to climb themselves up to the second place.
It's very much a race between ghosts. People, you can't interact with your opponents at all. There's no way for you to affect their game. The only thing you can do is race better yourself. You have to find the kills and start to climb the ranks by just doing better than your opponents are doing in their separate lobbies.
Still 20 players left alive in this lobby right now that we have from Mikkel and friends, so Team Main still has a lot of work to do, but more importantly, it's a lot of opportunities for them to get extra things. As you can see, multiple kills again going into the pocket of their teammate, Robbie there.
You just saw Robbie's name up on the banner there for a moment. He is the kill leader. Look at this view.
There's nothing that a Pathfinder enjoys more than sitting up there and being like, which one of these buildings do we want to land on? Like, to each their own, because once you get the high ground, you can zip as far, not as far as you want, but a lot farther than you can with the low ground, like in this circumstance. Jumps off early, not to lose too much momentum and be able to move up.
And I love what he did right there because he essentially just created an escape route for his teammates to once the ring ends up starting to close in, they now, all right guys, look, let's jump down this, we can take the zip line, we can go, good things are bound to happen.
As they are fighting outside the ring right now, they'll need that later.
Robbie's taking shots for now, found a target. Great amount of damage there coming out from that R301. Hit a lot there out of the 25 bullets within the clip, but
cleaned.
Yes.
And there you go. The terrifying sound of the ring.
Well, they're staying ahead of it.
I think that one shot rotation there that we got out of the last clip here does highlight, though, how difficult it can be on some of these lighter weapons if you don't even hit every shot. We saw him hit nearly every bullet, and his teammate was actually the only reason that target got knocked. You showing the teamwork and the coordination, and maybe in your solo queue games or with your buds, not going to be as accurate as these guys clearly are.
That is the sort of plays you have to go for. Fighting outside the ring, looking for those kills to give you as many points as possible. More amazing shots. Oh my goodness, Mikkel gets another one. Now folks, if you want to know what's going on with Mikkel, go check out his stream. We're going to be jumping on with Team Nordic, see if they can possibly take that #1 spot. Still got quite a few points to go.
One thing to consider with Apex Legends cross-comparing to other Battle Royales as well is with the circle, it has a surprising amount of visual bloom and lens flare almost that kind of comes onto your screen as you're breaking between it. And that's why I was so impressed by that first sniper shot that you saw. It's him dealing with all of that lighting adjustment in the process. Once it goes away and it's farther away from you, a little bit easier to shoot through. But, if you are at that kind of breaking point of the wall, it is visually extremely kind of difficult to see through.
It really discourages kind of riding the circle as it comes in. Other games kind of have that, don't really have that kind of hindrance that you see in something like this. And so it's a really good way to counterplay it. But it's even more so at showing how good of a player he is. But now, you want to talk about the action. It's coming right from
over
Team
the top.
Nordic.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
going to try to jump through with that 3 times ACOG. It's going to be just enough with the R301. They're going to get the full wipe. They're not even going to stop to loot because the ring is still closing in. It's done, and now it's off to the side of bunker they go.
Bunker is a point that we have talked about over and over again. Whether you drop there, whether or not you show up later on, we know that if you make that transfer to the right of Forsen screen from here, that it's high risk. Supply crates aren't open, indicating maybe, and nobody's been there at this point in time, but also with 8 squads, excuse me, not squills left, it puts you in a difficult kind of circumstance. Great job able to get a couple of shots off, and it seems like 2 remaining here on the back end of this rock.
Really a solid flank from Forsen, just rocketing past the fight and then coming and wrapping around the backside.
It's one of the things Wraith is very, very good at due to the mobility that she has, not only on her cube, but also with the portal.
And who cares that Christmas is past? Because
you know,
the Christmas alerts from Forsen are still riding.
I was gonna say,
still riding true.
Say Ale Mogul, thanks so much for the gifted subs. Seen like at least 10 so far. Giving Forsen the support, we appreciate it. And again, just a reminder to everybody, all of the people you are watching right now on Twitch Rivals are streaming on their own channels all over Twitch in the Apex category. Go give them the follows. If you got your Twitch Prime, what are you doing? Why? It's free. Use it for something. Give it to somebody. Forsen would be happy to take it off your hands. Fantastic streamer there.
Heal up and then grab your portal.
Am I muted?
Even more interesting to see him maybe thrive in, maybe a different environment normally than his stream traditionally does here. Being able to, put him under the scope of competition, if you will, and clutching it out. Nordic and friends sitting at the top half of our standings. I think that's really impressive, honestly. With all the big names that we know as the ho-ho-hos keep kind of trickling in. But I think it's very noted here, and at least I'm impressed with the performance that we've gotten out of Forsen.
5 squads, 11 players left right now. As the hard rotations are coming from Forsen and friends.
The ho-ho-hos are cracking me up. Also, he's got his own emote sitting there on top of the face. Team Main right now on top with another 22 points.
Just when you think you're in arm's reach, Team Main tells you to sit him down as they get an extra 22 points to raise him up. Some really good spray control there coming out as they're going to try to see. Nice little knockdown comes out. Not done just yet. There are still more people. The little thermite grenade does a little bit. As Forsen's got to try to find it. You can hear the communication happening. Artillery strike comes down because lots of explosions are soon. A great use of the phase right there. Tactical ability to try to get himself in and away.
Can he get inside?
Maybe he could have used like half-second delay on that just to maybe get all the way on inside, but either way, dodged an insane amount of damage with the use of his cube. Great flank! Oh my goodness, the other one's sitting just down below. He's gonna, not even need it actually. His ally just cleaning that up. That was really well done.
And this is just yet another example of how good a Wraith player that knows how to utilize her mobility around helps things out. She's able to phase in and out. He thinks they're on the backside. Teammate alerts them that they're actually on the other side of the compound, able to phase through to get out of both the Bangalore smoke as well as the artillery strike. Comes around, gets to loop, able to finish with the team. Now it's 4 squads left alive.
This is at least 30. I'm guessing this is a 50 gifted sub bomb at this point. What a fantastic support.
It's really dope.
It's just not stopping.
Yeah, it feels good, man, if you're forcing, for sure.
Yeah.
Feels good, man, for everybody getting gifted through those subs, too. Think about that.
Just
Emoji's flying right now.
And it does, by the way, if you're like, I want to get gifted a sub, all you gotta do is just be in chat. Just be active in chat, just be talking to the streamer and stuff, and you will be possibly randomly selected to be gifted a sub when someone buys packs of gifted subs like that. Never Frosted, an 11th month resub. I think that's the longest one I've seen today. I haven't seen a lot of sub notifications today.
Everybody's focused on the games, looking to get a W. A lot of money on the line here at Twitch Rivals.
I think the record so far is 57. 57-month resub we saw last week.
Did they just nickname that sub Old Faithful or what?
Yeah, right. We were talking about, at what point do you just get perma-subbed?
Well, now they have that really awesome feature of sub streaks. So
yeah.
You actually, if you accidentally miss a month, which sometimes it happens, you don't get penalized. You're still, I've still subbed, for 10 months, but I have an 8-month sub streak, which is kind of the coolest thing.
Sometimes people are like, man, I really love this streamer, but it's just not financially responsible for me to continue to sub right now. I need to kind of keep other things. But then later on, you want to come back and you were a 10-month sub at the time, and now you come back and got to start over. No, not anymore. You get credit for those 10 months that you had earlier. So we see Forsen find some more people.
Shots out. Clip is not able to break the shields yet. Goes in with the pistol flank. Bold move there with the wingman at that range. Ends up getting the knock in the long run, but setting him now without his shields. Will he go for the shield? That is going to be the call here.
Yeah, he's got 5 shield batteries, so he's got a lot of opportunity to get that shield back up to full. He's able to get all 3 chunks of it now. It's trying to scout around, see where the enemy is. Nice couple dinks. He's going to be able to end up get it. Elimination comes through. That's 7 kills for Forsen now. The question mark appears because 3 squads are left.
That was some nice use there of the wingman. So much damage coming out from him in the choke. And, you know, we talked about it earlier that the wingman is kind of a staple for a lot of players. It's kind of to each their own as long as you get comfortable with the pistol. It is very relevant when looking at the ability itself here. And it's just nice to see how many streamers have been so good with point and click there on that.
Capinator with a 26-month resub. We're starting to get some bigger numbers.
I would just, all I want to see is up in the left-hand side of the screen, I get a resub from Wavepunk, like here. Like
right now, live.
Like live on the stream.
Unfortunately, I am not currently a sub to Forsen, so it would be very difficult to resub to Forsen right now. But I think my Twitch Prime comes up on Valentine's Day. Maybe next week. Next week.
I was going to say, like, do I
next week I'll use it on someone live.
Sub today?
That'd be pretty great. See if we can snipe someone. That'd be pretty fun. That's the thing you can do too, folks. You see, oh, Forsen streaming. I want to get my name. Go sub to him.
Can be on the big boy stream, can be on his stream.
Nice.
Be a little bit of everywhere here. And with the 3 squads remaining in this match, I feel like the Nordics are going to have to be a little bit of everywhere as well. It seems like they've sniffed somebody out here to the northwest.
Yeah, they're implementing a little bit of a different strategy than what Main does. Main has a really big tendency of just being really spread out and flanking, but they need these extra 5 points because if not, the last almost 20 minutes have been forgotten. They're going to do a really good job. Bangalore spoke that he's still going to be able to see him. The digital threat is there on the wingman, so that's going to be able to get the knockdown. He doesn't quite know yet where it is. He's going to try to get the full finish. He does extra points. That's 8 kills now. 2 squads left alive. He's going to take the phase. He's going to be able to come through.
Oh, wait, that's my teammate. Oh, no.
Let's go up and then down the ramp.
The second I saw that without the UI at the name, I was like, oh my goodness, Forsen confidence displayed there.
Jump over with Kola.
I almost have ult too. Almost have ult.
Still on the same team.
Legendary wingman value right there.
Hello.
12 shots.
Hey, how's it going?
Threat.
Sexy.
Oh, yeah.
First one in. What?
Is it a rotten egg? That's usually
Clap sheets.
It's usually reserved for the last one.
So there's less than 10 seconds now. The ring is going to start closing in. It's all about scouting. They are in artillery, which thankfully for them as well as the other team has plenty of opportunities to kind of hide in around a lot of these little crevices because there's so many different kind of buildings in artillery base that you can find. And so as a result, it's going to force them to very smartly and efficiently clear as a group because if anybody gets caught out alone in a place like artillery base, things are going to be rough. He's going to end up finding a Gibraltar. A lot of damage. You can see the 101 that's there. He'll fall down, so he's going to switch targets across on the other side of artillery.
Yeah, I really like that. And look at that side flank and the Bloodhound scout out there already doing so much damage with that wingman. Great shots here.
Yeah, the full legendary wingman.
Yeah, I mean, you get digital threat, 12 shots per clip at that point in time. I mean, that is really good to be able to have, considering I believe the default is 6 or 5 there on the wingman.
They are some intense play. The wingman coming into play a lot there for a few different squads we got to see. So it's been some amazing stuff so far. Anything you guys want to see that you haven't seen so far?
I want to see more portal play and like more Wraith, like offensive, like very hyphy.
I want to see more caustic play.
Are you talking like consistent things, or are you talking about like a highlight play?
Anything.
All right, I saw a clip yesterday where somebody killed 2 people with 1 Kraber shot. I want to see. I want to see a 2-for-1. It was 167 damage through both of them, and that's what I want to see.
I saw one with a triple take, where like the 2 shots hit 2 different people.
Yeah,
I want
to see a 2-for-1. That's what I want to see.
Actually, that's what I want. A triple take. We've gotten almost no triple take action
we have not
whatsoever.
Seen a single triple take today. Please pick it up. It's a wonderful gun. It was one of my favorites in Titanfall 2 back when it was a double take, but now it's got 3 shots and it's pretty cool. Folks, we're going to
Очень далеко вон там стреляет. И туда челы на баллоне прилетели.
Телепорт ставлю.
Жду.
Дробовики ебучие там.
Гиба поставил хуйню. Мак, блять, мак. Бегу, брат.
Сзади, ладно.
Последний склад. У меня все есть для дальнейшей тройки. Кроме Феникса. Все забрал. Последний склад ищем. Недалеко падает дроп на СЕ. Чё, блять? Что?
Кто-то что-то бросил? Оттуда кто-то что-то бросил.
Не вижу никого.
Ты мне показался, я глючу уже.
Это наш дроп, да?
Да. Возьми золотую ресу.
Бля, у нас где ресловки. Кайф. На какую кнопку саморез?
На ешку.
Угу. Ни раз просто не пользовался еще.
Я понял.
Че, в рассыпную ищем файт?
Да-да-да, мы именно ищем файт.
На мне!
Вижу.
Спрыгнула.
Нахнул ты.
Да, они каленые, пиздец.
Иду добивать. Добил.
Тут еще один
Меня
был.
топает.
Да-да-да. Ну, вдруг пересылка у него. GG. Довольно легко. Конечно, будет какая-то фулгрей пулеметная. Довольно легко все будет.
Записывай. А ты не озвучишь потом в общий счет или потом?
26.
26, окей. А всего?
Я записываю. 21 килл и плюс победа.
Не, я имею в виду
Всего
за
не
все.
считаю.
Не считаешь, окей.
Всего не считаю, зачем?
Готов. Команда не готова написано. Жень.
А я один в игре, сейчас вас законнектю.
Окей. Да, по этой игре уже проводят турнир официальный от Твича. И Electronic Arts, по всей видимости,
Я все еще
среди
один.
стримеров. Так, меня загружает.
Грузит?
Надеюсь, что к
Все, отлично. Да-да-да, вижу вас обоих.
Сейчас играет Европа. 24 человека, 24 стримера. И уже, наверное, параллельно даже с американскими ребятами. Там и DrDisrespect, и Ninja, и Summit, и все-все-все ваши любимые известные стримеры. Команда называется Spock Team. Мы в топ-5 пока. попадаем. То не знаю, нужно на самом деле последние сотки шпалей достать и заполучить. Айлейм 1 воюет.
Передай.
Передаем.
Блять. The same?
Передавай.
Я думаю, да. Ну, типа, вообще, та же мапа, по сути.
7 поинтов до 3-го места нам.
Так, смотрю, что летит. Один сквад. Вроде прям с нами летит.
Денис, ты
Два
берешь
склада
дальний.
прям с нами.
Вторую?
Надо
Дальнюю?
дальше пролетать.
Дальнюю.
Дальше никого. Дальше вообще никого. У меня чел. Блять, 103 армором. Ой, иди нахуй.
Это ты.
Да, в дальних кемпы никто не упал.
Тут сучка со мной.
We are heading into our final hour of the European Apex Legends grind here. The pub stomp's been going for quite a while, and these guys have racked up some crazy point totals so far. Right now, Team Main looking far and away the best, but there's an hour of play left, guys. Anything can happen. You got any wild predictions for me?
I'm saying Nordics needs to drop a 30 bomb because every time that it seems like they're within arm's reach of Team Main drops another 20 bomb.
Yeah.
And they put themselves up another 20 points. And it's just like, no!
It keeps on being so close there, folks. It's been a crazy, crazy tournament so far. And if you're just joining us for the first time, you're like, how does this work? What's the format like? How is the point total supposed to go? Well, here's how you go. It's all pub stomp. All the players, all the teams you're seeing are not intentionally in the same lobby. They could possibly end up in the same lobby, but it hasn't really happened yet. And there are 8 teams of 3 players per region, so 48 players in total. And they each have 4 hours to try and put up the most points they possibly can. They get a point for every kill. They get 5 points for every win. They're not allowed to drop out of the game. You can see the money there. They get $8,000 for coming in first place, but you also get $7,500 just for having the most kills. So a lot on the line here. $100,000 in total. Some pretty crazy stuff. Now, who is competing in the tournament? That's what we care about the most. That's what's most interesting here. In Europe, there's been some fantastic teams, some teams we didn't expect to do well, some teams that we did absolutely expect to do well. It's been pretty cool. Here they all are. It's pretty crazy. You know what's very interesting? Team Main, who's currently in first, got added to the tournament like 30 minutes before the tournament showed up. One team had to bail. They were like, "Yeah, we'll play." They're gonna make like $15,000.
And you've got Team Main, Gotaga, of course, Roby, Mikolau. They've been playing. They've been doing really well. Everybody knew Forsen. We talked about him at the top of the show about how clearly he's won between him, Koa, and Orb, which you can see right there on your screen. They're great, but we didn't think that they were going to be just like popping off. But they're hitting shots. They're doing fantastic.
They're doing great.
The Kingsmen, Sacro, Stoda, and Break, they've kind of struggled a little bit, but all of these teams have kind of stood up to the mark. But I think my favorite to watch right now definitely has to be Team Nordics. Like if I'm going to show favoritism, it's got to be with those guys.
They're the
because
team
they've done pretty well.
They've got a chance. There's a chance
They
they can
do.
possibly pull it off. We'll see if it happens, folks. Right now, Europe is in its final hour, but we got North America coming up right after. There are some crazy cool rivalries going to be coming into play in North America. Shroud and DrDisrespect have been an age-old nemesis battle back and forth between many games. It's amazing. How are they feeling about Apex Legends? Let's hear what DrDisrespect had to say.
Consider DrDisrespect your biggest threat in the tournament? No. Wait, what's his team?
This guy's getting too cocky for his own good. We're gonna end that little cockiness once and for all. Trust me, I'm not having it. Not in my world. He's done.
Consider DrDisrespect your biggest threat in the tournament? Wait, what's his team? No.
I have to know, how does the dental plan factor into everything?
Because he's gonna knock his teeth out, man.
I was gonna say he's like letting him know like how many teeth, how much it's gonna cost him to return the teeth back into his mouth once DrDisrespect's done.
You're a streamer, I'm a streamer. We don't have any benefits over here. I know you gotta pay for it, so you better be paying for the good one over there. Oh my goodness, folks. So much action still yet to come here in Europe, and so much in North America. I cannot wait to see. We were doing just researching all the streamers and everything beforehand. I found so many clips of people saying just how Shroud's a god. There's literally a clip of TimTheTatman being like, I could beat Shroud. Like, all I need is like an aimbot and like immortality. And then like they can take Shroud on, you know, and it's like what is it? What do you do when that's your reputation?
See,
you know?
I'm gonna buck the trend on this. I said this when we got here this morning when we were talking about it. You can talk about Shroud, you can talk about DrDisrespect, you can talk about those guys all day long. But there's one guy that I cannot wait to see.
Who is it?
It's Dizzy.
Dizzy?
Dizzy got signed to Energy yesterday. He's playing with, wait for it, King Richard and Ninja.
Oh, so you're a Ninja fanboy.
No.
Let's go check in. Team Nordic is still playing. We're still here in Europe. Well, you'll have time to talk about Ninja later on, folks. Let's get back into the games. Got to wrap up Europe before we can get over into the West.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Is that how you're feeling right now?
That's how I feel right now. That's how I feel right now.
Nordics, as you said though before, need to pull out a 30 bomb if they're going to do something here. They have been able to climb up in the rankings as the games have gone on, but it does feel like they need a kind of surprise here, a change up, if they will.
Or difficult math, 25 kills and a win.
Yeah.
That's kind of a big thing too, because these guys, and it's hilarious. Literally almost right before we left them, they were in a top 10 situation. They find themselves in a top 10 situation yet again. 4 squads left, 10 people left alive. And I mean, you kind of said it best. These guys have to find, and they have to pull something out of their sleeves here because Team Main is running away with it.
We're going to get to, is he going to go for it? Is he not? Oh, they didn't recover his banner.
No.
Orb is dead, and so he's running past a respawn point. I thought we were going to get to see our first respawn of the day, but they don't even have his banner, so they are just playing for the win right now.
Bye, bro.
Well, yeah, actually, unless he's going to give a portal back to Koa to go get the res on that after they loot here on the pit.
Okay, now hold on. We can jump back over with Nordic here in a second. But we need to talk about Team Main for just a moment. They're loading back into the game. Guess how many kills they got last game?
33.
Close, just so close. 34.
Oh, too higher than our last record.
They're just making it so difficult. Just when you thought Nordic had a chance, now they got to drop, what, a 50 bomb? You know, they can do it, I believe.
His last hour is truly crunch time.
It's amazing. Just running away with things.
I feel like they just named themselves Team Main, not even for like any kind of play on words or anything like, and more so just because these guys set the bar. You know,
yeah,
they are the main team. They are the main team here. I mean, and understandably so. Look at this. He's just absolutely smacking these kids. And I know this is an early drop. But like he has already gotten one knock. He's getting pressured by the punches.
The Pathfinder comes down like Terminator style and gets knocked, and the Wraith is still there trying to get him. Oh!
No, he's got this all day.
Trying to punch him.
He's been kiting with slides so well.
Punch him! Punch him!
Get out of my house. That is all you got to say after that.
All by himself. And my goodness, they all kind of like dropped slightly spread out from each other as well. So. They could each just start with 9 kills.
And, oh, there you go. What do you know? An extra, like you said, started off 3 kills for him.
Yep.
47 players still left in the lobby, which means there are plenty of bodies that they can recover at this point in time.
I just want to know, bringing it back just a step, what happened there with that landing? First of all, from this squad's perspective, why was Chocotaco? Are they splitting up because they're confident?
No. So he initially dropped on the supply ship.
Yeah.
And wasn't able to spam the keys. Hello, goodbye.
See ya.
The teammates like leave.
Oh,
sorry, we're done.
Is he gonna dongle?
And look at that. Look at this,
Longbow number 2.
That triple kill put him over 300 points. Now they're at 301. 302. Oh. This keeps on climbing.
Oh my!
And now, how did he go down?
He got knocked down. It looked like somebody was just pinging. He's got a teammate behind him looking for the flank, and it looks like Mikolau's just instantly pressuring up.
Like, free kills? Oh boy!
Get those points.
Oh, my Uber loot's here.
So they're able to get it. Thankfully, though, he still has plenty of time to get on the respawn. I believe it's something like it's close to 90 seconds or something like that that you have once you're down. Bangalore Smoke is gonna be able to come out. He's gonna try to see if he can get right around that other edge. See if he can use that a little bit of his defense. Mikolau's right there. Hey, buddy, how are you? Can you help me out, please?
Here you go. Adrenaline to the heart. Get up. All right. We're good. I do think it's a little interesting that to revive Pathfinder, you give him an adrenaline boost to his mainframe.
Yeah, he's just like juice him up, dude. Like you're giving him the sweet like Matrix code, really. It's like what you're feeding him.
But then like when does too much adrenaline bite come to us? Like you get downed, and every time you get down, you get popped with adrenaline. At some point, you're like 4 or 5 adrenaline shots in.
Don't worry about it, you know? Hold on, they wreck another squad. This is 5 kills now.
Hey, that's just looking at Chocotaco,
Yeah, just
right?
at Chocotaco.
And we know that Mikolau and friends just cleaned up a couple other kills in the process. They've taken out at least, like, it feels like 3 to 4 squads already, with 11 squads still left to remain within this match. And really just showing, I feel like, why they are in the place that they are, right? Like, if anything, I feel like it's one of those, like, you know, with a new game like this coming in, so youthful, wondering what are these players doing to be able to set them apart. And to be honest, it still feels like this squad is relying on their ability to shoot like that, right there into the Mirage.
It's shooting and hard rotations. And you kind of touched upon this a little bit more. They are spending as little time looting as possible. It's get in, get the kills, get out, move, rotate somewhere around the map. They're not spending their time, what do I want? Like, they're not window shopping at this point in time. They're being able to have it, and like you said, they're just getting the kills when it's necessary.
Yeah, and the longbow shots from Gotaga are honestly insane. Now pairing up with a wingman as well behind this. Got a huge flank here. Throws 45 into that, 90 in total. Gets himself a knock. Can he get the recovery here? As Mikolau's got a huge flank on this guy in the rock. They have a great position here. If he goes for the wide flank on the right-hand side, might not be necessary due to Mikolau's pressure. It is, yeah, he ended up getting the cleanup there with an R301.
Mikolau is averaging 8 kills a game, by the way. And Robbie is
I don't average 8 kills
7
in a play session.
Yeah, right?
I mean, that's my boys, we got ourselves a chicken dinner, and I'm feeling good about myself, right? And it feels like truly that's like the first half of these games for this team.
Is your chicken dinner roast or fried?
Usually fried, to be honest.
No, fried white meat or fried dark meat?
Definitely dark.
Thank you. Man, you have good answers.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on this conversation.
You're not a fried chicken guy?
I like fried chicken.
Okay.
We had this conversation.
You're from Tennessee.
Yes, I am. I prefer barbecue.
That's completely that's completely respectable. Send the decoy out. Hey, shoot me.
Ooh.
Oh wait, you shot the wrong guy. Bamboozled. Fool him.
Yeah.
Il y a un aimlock ici parce que je sais que t'avais un aimlock et que je te l'ai piqué, Ordi.
Ouais, il y a un wingman à la place, je suis preneur.
Ah, j'ai lâché un wingman dans ton milieu, quoi.
We do have the res come in there. Okay, so we got the final res, though we didn't see it here. Mikolau actually picked up the banner for the Bangalore, excuse me. Robbie's able to join in. So back to a full-man squad. Robbie's going to be under arms, but this is one of those moments where it's important to know, where have all these dead bodies been, right? They've been fighting in one zone this entire time.
Yeah.
Out of the 9 corpses that remain due to their hand, it is very, very likely, and what I mean is 100% chance he gets re-geared. Look at this, instantly already sitting at a tier 3 when it comes to the chest. He is going to be fully kitted, and that is all, again, due to the control that we've seen here out of the squad.
They're so confident. Gotaga's just like, hey, you guys looting and do stuff, cool. I'm gonna go find some other people.
It almost feels like it's like an information game now. It's like, yo, we need people to sniff out where the bad guys are just so we can keep our kill count effective.
He's so far away from them and he doesn't mind at all.
And it's so bold out of a character like Mirage with no like immediate iframe. I automatically go like on a Wraith, I get it, you know. Pathfinder, I would say less so than a Wraith because he doesn't truly have an escape. He's got just, you know, kind of cheeky plays he can make here and there.
On fait quoi, champignon tilté?
On top of market.
One of the more wide areas here of the map, I feel like, in this kind of long stretch out towards some of the bone sections. I always wondered, you know, it doesn't seem like this is the case, but maybe lore-wise, you guys clearly have more Titanfall history than myself. Are the rib cages of the animals and the beasts that are clearly dead on the battlefield, are they the what I call Attack on Titan horses that are sitting out on the side? Is that the rib cage of those weird beasts like hanging out there, or is it a completely different?
Attack on Titan horses. I wanted to bring that up. What are they? Because they look like, that's an interesting description. These skeletons look much bigger than those things.
Yeah, no, they do. They absolutely do. But what if those are like fawns or babies, if you will? You know, we're only looking at the
those are the babies
of the beasts that were.
It's like all those old dinosaur movies where you see like it's like, oh, it's like a cute little, and then it's like the mama, like the mama dinosaur comes up and it's just like this colossal 25-foot tall animal, and you're just like, okay, goodbye.
I'm like, okay, I'm out of here.
Next time we watch a team drop in, try to draw attention to the colossal mammoths out in the water. But if you haven't played the game, it's a little spooky looking. But they sit there; they're completely docile. They never bother you. They probably eat krill.
I think they're just.
It's a lot of krill.
They're whales.
That is a lot of like whales, but with legs.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, bringing it back from dinosaur talk.
Wait, what do you mean? You're done with the dino talk? Okay.
Party pooper.
I think that's fair. Let's see what they can do here. They got clearly just scouting out one, going for a clone flank here with the Mirage.
Yeah, so again, a really good utilization of the Mirage decoy. Oh, hello, he says.
In bad spot.
Gets a little bit off. Pops the ultimate ability there just to try to get a little bit of a recoil. Or a little reposition, not a recoil.
I was gonna get revealed. Doesn't go with the heal before looking down sights. Bold move. Pays off with 2 shots. Doesn't hit any of them. Goes with the spray though, and there's the knock.
Doesn't even decide to swap over. It's the triple shot of the Hemlock.
Oh man, there's an ally in the back end. Okay, going for the res over there. He cleans up. And things are still fine. I don't know why I ever doubted. I mean, let's be honest. This squad has been absolutely ruthless since the beginning of the day.
It's like, have they... I'm looking at their games. Their very first game, they got 5 kills, and Chocotaco got none of them. I assume they didn't win that game. Since then, I think they had a 6-kill game, they had a 9-kill game, and then from then on, it's like all double-digit 20-bomb stuff.
Feels like they were just warming up, you know, heating up. And now we have to deal with Team Main, the terror of the Twitch rivals, the EU section right now.
I mean, we can jump over with Mikolau. They currently are sitting at 20 kills on this game, and there's 6 squads left.
I want to keep track when the circle gets a little more intense here for these fights. Mikolau's been very aggressive with his zipline use, and see if that continues here as he ends up landing one of those longbow hits.
There are a lot of guns that feel great when you land a shot. Longbow's definitely one of those guns. And now, just as we say that, a little bit of spray from the 99 is going to be able to come out. Mikolau's going to have to force a reposition. He gets it. He sees the phase, tries to get a little bit of extra momentum. He gets him down. The rest of his teammate helps out, and another squad wipe for the teammates.
Yeah, it's very important to note that this is the R99, not the R301. Very different guns when it comes to the capabilities and playstyle. Overall, better at full auto and closer corridors like we saw there out from Mikolau. It's just we've had so much 301, and actually I think this might be one of our first or secondary R99. Just important that we highlight that they're not one and the same. If this goes a longer range fight, that longbow is going to have to clutch out here for Mikolau.
An important thing to notice about Mikolau's stream is that when he pays attention and he leans into the monitor, the M underneath on his overlay gives him a nice mustache.
That is actually a really good point.
It kind of gives him
oh my, that was a headshot there with that longbow.
See it? See it?
Pathfinder.
This is technically not out of bounds either. Only higher up it is.
I'm just left with a mustache.
Yes, my fuck. That is actually a beautiful mustache.
Oh, that's amazing. I love Twitch. Over on the flank. Oh, you got that shot?
Goodness.
Through the explosion, they're able to get it. Another kill goes into their counter. Mikolau has racked himself up. He's going to do some pretty quick looting because they need to move yet again, making sure to keep as many shields. He's already up to, I believe, 8 kills now, 2 squads left, so you'll see the question mark. When there are 3 squads or less, they put that question mark up there to make it a little bit harder for everybody.
And earlier in the show, we posed, or at least I posed the question, when to grenade, when not to, as the game moved on. It's very important to note, Mikolau, now that the game is kind of closing in towards the end game, he was willing to sacrifice some of his shielding. That being said, he had way too much shielding, but like a lot of shield. So he was comfortable to sacrifice those, but it's clear he prioritized nades and zone control over almost every other resource available as long as he had his health covered, which I think indicates, you know, how important for some of these higher skill players that is going to be. In Pathfinder, actually not going to take the circle there.
Oh, but look at that. With those last couple kills that he's been able to get, he's the only one over triple digits with a specific legend. And Mikolau sitting at 108. I know the Pathfinder main sitting right next to me is pretty happy.
Yeah, I am very happy. The only thing that's making me, I want to know here for Mikolau, because we actually haven't talked about it that much with the inner circle identification that we can get out of a Pathfinder. He was just near a signal beacon.
The thing is that they were the top 2 squads. They get the win. He's like, we're not going to win on circle. We're going to win on just frags. You saw him like as he was going up there, just spamming his gun, like, hey, I'm over here. Come find me. Let us kill you. Thanks. Appreciate it. Over 100 kills. The last-minute addition to the tournament, running away with it. The story of the day has been Mikolau, Arabi, Chocotaco. Look at those banners. Oh, they're so pretty.
An insane amount of damage output, too.
2,000 damage?
I don't know if I've seen a 2K break, honestly.
Oh, that's crazy. It's level 56. Climbing up the ranks. Jump on back board with Team Nordics. Second place. Now needing 100 bomb.
God, fast heal is so nice. Oh.
Jump on board with Orb.
Bit out of circle, not a problem though, by any means at this point in time. They still have a long time and a lot of mobility to be able to catch up.
Their composure's staying pretty good as well. You heard kind of the conversation that we saw from the Kingsmen a little bit earlier, talking about like, what, are they just dropping 30 bombs every game? But then they immediately kind of, caught themselves and was like, all right, we need to do work. Same thing here for Nordics. They recognize that, all right, yeah, sure, we find ourselves down, but we need to keep playing our game because once we get rattled, that's when things start getting difficult.
I actually would be curious here, if you could, Wave, do you know if they've been on the same composition the entire time?
Which team? This one?
Yeah, for the Nordics, and when did they swap? Because I think they've actually gotten more aggressive with their composition to kind of play into that playstyle you're talking about there, John. I might be wrong about that.
It looks at a glance here that they have not changed at one point. Yeah, no, they have not changed it at all.
Okay, so they've stuck with this from the beginning.
Bangalore, Bloodhound the entire time.
I was just thinking, like, if you could tell me first 3 characters when you're like, yo, we need to get kills, how do we make that happen? Bangalore, Bloodhound, great combo. We talked about that already. And, a Wraith behind it, Portals, mobility, the iframe capability, skirmishing across the board. So Nordics here making it work. And my goodness, the value we've seen here from this orb shots coming through there, the Bloodhound, I mean, that was really well done.
Able to pick themselves up 2 more kills to add it to the list. There's still a decent amount of squads left, and remember, we are inside that last hour, so there is not a lot of time left for anyone that's competing right now. So of those 20 players left alive, they're going to need to start racking it up if they want to catch up to Team Main.
They've only got 14 in this game. I think...
Only 14.
Only 14.
Did you feel like you were going to be making that statement before we showed up today?
I don't know, man. Was it Team Pog dropped a 29 bomb on the first game, and everything I thought I knew went out the window. Continue to rack them up there. Team Main building up more points. 330, 51 points ahead right now. Team Nordics' Team Pog is trying to make the comeback. So they have moved themselves into third and just barely edging out ZF right now. But still 40 points behind Nordics.
Considering some of the more macro decisions being made out of these higher-end players, another moment beyond the grenade question we asked, also talking about the devotion, having an opportunity to move into it there at the later stages of the game and opting out of it here for the Nordics. I just think that's interesting because it's likely that they have hit one of those kind of pre-fires for the devotion to have that increased lethal capabilities there. Good flank here, though.
I also think it's kind of a recognition that you're not going to have as much time to loot, so unless they're guaranteed a certain amount of energy ammo, then it might just be better to take something off on that end,
Yeah, no, I very much agree, and I think that's one of the trade-offs for the devotion you have to
hello.
pressure.
Peekaboo.
You put yourself in the corner.
Bloodhound has a scan.
Don't put baby in the corner.
He put himself there.
Not going to be necessary. The Peacekeeper maintaining the peace. Shots from a different angle, though. That should be a secondary squad, I believe, actually.
Rolling on over the side.
It's also just great to watch the tracking of a Peacekeeper.
Yeah.
When you can see them track across of now I'm going to shoot, now I'm going to shoot, and they're able to get it off. And he immediately swaps over to the flat line because they're getting third-partied.
Sometimes it feels like a fat line. Like, oh my goodness, these shots are big.
Go.
Hit markers for days.
The go call and push call was there. We get the ultimate out. Time's up. Let's do this. They're ready.
Beast of the Hunt gets popped, which immediately means that Bloodhound speed. Got lots of arc stars. Going to throw it to try to disrupt the enemy. Going to try to get it. Remember, he is able to track them there, so he's got a little bit of an outline. Lots of damage. It's going to be able to come around. He gets the down. Going to have to try to go on because there's another member. Let me just reload my entire Peacekeeper because you're going to go down. You're out for the count. Another squad for Team Nordic.
10 kills for Orb.
We talk about that first clip out of Orb?
Yeah.
I don't know if a bullet missed. He had a guy on full sprint, track from left to right. The second that stops, he hovers down, hits the guy sitting there. I think he put all 30 bullets of that flatline into somebody's body. That was absurd.
Fantastic plays there. We'll check back in. Right now, jump on board with Team ZF, who are fighting for third place. A close battle with Team Pog.
Divert to beacon is just
Cyanide up on top of your screen there. Are either of you guys car guys?
I'm not, no.
Are you much of a car guy, Jump?
I mean, casually, I'm a casual car guy.
So for any of you people who are car people, casual or otherwise, Cyanide drives a McLaren.
Neat.
Something he got this year.
Yes.
Beautiful machine.
McLarens are fantastic.
You go with like a classic orange? Right?
No, it
wasn't
was
McLaren orange.
It was like a kind of like a brick red, metallic brick red. Very pretty.
Great shots coming out of him yet again, and we haven't. We continue to highlight this team, but I want to go ahead and take a moment to really applaud what ZF has done throughout the entirety of today thus far. They prioritized the kind of slow and steady wins the race. Now, unfortunately, they were put up against Team Main, who has just been dropping 30 bombs like it's just yesterday's breakfast. But they've been doing a really good job at staying in the middle of the pack of kills and always making sure they keep a high percentage of win games. That's put them in that 4th spot, and I think it really speaks to the testament of the strategy that they were wanting coming into this day.
Yeah, and you can see right here in this skirmish that we got coming out for Sombrero that epic armor is really difficult for him to get through. He's been dealing with this target from a long distance away, but just because of the survivability through the shields and the time to kill being slowed down, like it's very hard for him to be able to move up and secure anything. 1 member down, a lot of pressure onto Cyanide. This is a very difficult fight here for this team.
Go Bamboozle.
They do have the flank as we hear the Bamboozle dropped.
Really good shots coming out from that R301. It's not going to be able to land the way they want. I can see you shaking your head, though.
I would have liked to see it single. That's the only thing in that moment. At that far away, swap over the single and probably increase the lethality. I say that, he looks me in the eyes, goes full auto a mile away. I don't care, and I'm going to just hit every shot.
Caster Curse takes itself a hold there as you tell him to go single shot, and he goes, Dreadnought, you're sitting on this couch. I'm sitting behind that keyboard. I'm going to get another knock. I'm going to switch guns to the R99. A couple more shots to get the clean wipe. He does! All 3 goes down. Now he can recover the banners and get back up his teammates.
It is a tough moment, though, right? We got to consider there's 3 squads left, and he's going for a double delivery on the beacon. Low probability here, dude. Like, it is so very difficult here for him.
Well played, dude.
Yeah. Oh man, he looks like. Can we just talk about how like he looks like a supervillain too right now? He's like down here in the sombrero.
Look at that! Look at that!
Yeah. I mean, he is the supervillain of this match after plays like that.
That was brilliant. He's got his drinks. He's got his computer and his sound.
Yeah, I love the sound foam in the back. It definitely looks like it's those diagonal sound foam pieces, so it adds that extra level of aesthetic, but it also kind of, helps with the soundproofing in the room when he screams when he gets a win.
Now, if there's any, I want to watch him go for the respawn. If there's any way we can go watch his teammates' perspective so we get to see them drop into the match. We haven't gotten to see that yet today. Looks like he is heading for, no, he's heading away from a respawn. Yeah, see, is he going for, they pinged it for him, I believe.
I just want to question, with the Mirage, you don't have that many tools to be able to get out of this situation if somebody is there. And this is one of the hardest reses, in my opinion, in the whole game. The res that he is choosing is within a 3-way choke of multiple areas. If he gets pressured, the odds of him having high ground, low. The odds of him having man advantage, almost non-existent. This is one of those, are they going to be there? But if they are, this is a very tough moment.
Add to the fact as well, when you get respawn, you don't have any of your loot, you don't have any of your gear. Now, thankfully, there are 3 supply crates there that have been untouched. So they're going to have an opportunity to find themselves a gun. But that is the one difficulty of a respawn. Yeah, you're back alive, but 0 resources.
Yeah. If he looks up in the sky, you'll see the plane coming in. And I like how he's just choosing to loot. He's like, you know what?
Welcome to my market. What sort of scope would you like today, sir?
Yep.
That was such a lucky open. It feels like on that double supply, considering the res comes through there. Not only is there multiple guns, a little bit of optics to be able to help with the skirmishes, and they need it here. 3 squads are remaining.
Yeah, we'll go and check in with Pog team, also playing for that 3rd place spot.
Well done, dude. Good save.
Watch Sombrero get the clutch. We're being told we've been pronouncing Team ZF like Americans. Apparently,
it's ZF.
We're in Europe, so it is 100% ZF.
At least they gave us something of a correction that we know we can say, unlike the name that we have all 3, I think, botched.
Salute. Salute. Team Pog. They started off as the hot favorites. They're now trying to stay in the top 3.
Portal use. See where they end up taking this. It looks like it's headed towards the just more action center.
Or yes, just, teammates stay up top.
Oh my goodness, so many people.
Hello!
Can he get 2?
The wingman.
Got 2. One more.
3rd one back there. Not even necessary. Teammates got it, man. That was clean. And the portal capabilities for anybody to follow up in case things got hairy, that was well done.
I think that was kind of the coolest part. And you know that this was on Makatau's strategy, or Makatau's strategy at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Because both of his teammates actually stayed up top for height verticality advantage. He went down with the Wraith, so at any point in time, his teammates could go. But then they realized, we can just dink people's heads from all the way on top.
Yeah.
Able to get the squad wipe, 2 left alive.
Yeah, sit and poke and prod from the high ground, and then what that portal did do is let's put the case where they don't get that kill, right? The portal confidently secures everything here. And with the teams being so close when it comes to the race and kills being honestly the only thing that seems like it separates, the pack here. at the Twitch rivals that I feel like I want to see more plays like that here from teams.
I also want to say the Prowler had the select fire receiver and an addition to an extended mag.
Yeah.
35 bullets of just non-stop, fully automatic action headed straight to your face.
Yeah, that's when the Prowler feels very, very good, right? He does have the opportunity with the upgrades and along with the ammunition as well. The stock doesn't hurt whatsoever to be able to help some of the recoil and accuracy here of the gun. As they move into the repulsor station, a really cool area to be able to fight into. But that being said, at this late of the game, a low probability of there being much loot remaining, and it's going to make this last fight crazy, especially considering the fact that those are two not normal zip lines you see there. Those were both from a Pathfinder.
10 kills on Chocotaco right now. So they're in the top 2 looking for the win. Getting a win here could really, they are neck and neck with Team ZF. There was 1 point between them just a moment ago.
This corridor, too, has a double bridge that goes across to a very long choke over to the right-hand side. This is a major advantage point into the swamps, which is where you see them currently looking and kind of scouting over here. If any fight happens and anybody is down below, they're at a major high ground disadvantage.
Swamps is such a fun place to fight. We haven't seen much of Swamps today.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like too many people want to, go the Shrek route and hang out there, but I personally adore it.
Hey, man, he's protecting his swamp, and he's doing it well.
All I hear every time I land in this swamp is Smash Mouth, somebody, and you're just like, gosh dang it.
That's actually the sound effect of stepping in the puddle of mud.
Quickly followed by a donkey.
Nice portal. Okay, we'll see where this finishes out then. Is he going to go for the full team integration or more just to get the mobility?
I think it's just for pure mobility at this point in time because, again, all right, I'm done with analysis. Penguin just dance.
Yeah.
For sure.
Ой, блядь.
Do you think how much Papa John's do you think Chocotaco is going to
honestly
buy? With all his money he's gonna make.
That's his incentive for his teammates playing with him. I'll get you guys some good Papa John's. 2 members are down, 1 more left alive, and just like clockwork, it's yet again another champion victory coming out for their team, and that's going to be 5 more points added to their score.
And I know I've been talking about it quite a bit here, but I think it's still very important in moments like that to point out that, like, if that is not an upgraded magazine on that Prowler, that is a surviving target until the reload after. And I think it's just important to highlight only because there's been so many people who've been talking about time to kill and, like, what they like and what they don't like, and I think a lot of it is based around that, ammunition is a resource both within your inventory and your gun itself in a game like Apex Legends.
I'm back over here with ZF, currently at rank 4, having to find the wins after Team Pog was able to get a nice juicy one.
Now, this is actually the Sombrero and friends. We just watched them get into the situation with the high res later with only 3 teams remain. So we have found them to be able to knock down the one. Only 1 squadron remain other than that. Gets the second knock. 1 guy left.
What do you know? It's the Spitfire with the fully upgraded magazine. That's 60 heavy bullets in your chambers that you're running across. And just when you think you're running out of bullets, you're nowhere near close. Champion for ZF. They get themselves another 5
Do they
points.
leapfrog?
Nope.
No.
14 points.
Dude, they're just so good. Starting to run away with it here. 14 points away now. Can they keep it up? As Team Nordics will join the 300 club. But still, get 30 points behind Team Main.
343 points for Team Main.
I actually don't have words at this point. Like, they are slaying so hard that it's just like, I mean, what do you say?
Okay, well, here's an interesting thing, though. The last 2 games, they died with 6 kills and then with 1. So, a little bit of a fall off for Team Main, giving a little bit of room, possibly, for Nordics to close the gap, as their last game was a, what is this, 15, 19?
24.
29 kill bomb. Just casual. We've been saying that number a bunch today. They currently have 4 already in their game.
I have to reload my game completely. BLB.
Look at that. That's a pretty clean dungeon, though. I'm being honest, like if he's an evil lord with a lair, he's on like the what, like third floor of like an apartment.
I mean, it's fair to say, I think if you have a full monitor vertical committed to just chat, you probably got a nice setup. Like, you probably got a little bit, you know, because like that's not you just like, hey, you know, I'm making this look good. It's like, you know, I'm investing into this, you know, and so I very much agree.
The only thing it's missing is it doesn't have a sombrero in the background.
No, he's got a sombrero on his bear on his stinger there though.
He does.
Absolutely. You've ever seen from me, mate.
Playing main menu simulator.
I'm connecting. Hold up.
Jumping around a little bit. Remaking the lobby.
I'm in. Loading.
There we go. And they've got the Skinergy as well. We finally get to see it.
That's right.
For an actual extended time. You commented on this earlier, Dreadnought.
And it's part of the reason I think ZF is holding their own. You know, if anything, for real, you know, not trying to take away from these players. Cyanide, Edberg, and Sombrero are absolutely amazing. But let's be real here. Skin 20% advantage when it comes to shot damage. Fat Kappa behind that one, chat. Calm down.
I just getting paid to win.
You know somebody's gonna clip that and be like, I heard this guy say I got bonus damage.
We're the experts, remember? Yeah. Anything we say, actually no.
It is absolute.
Please don't listen to us. It's not absolute. Don't put that on me.
Still running in here with the classic trio: Wraith, Bloodhound, Mirage, right?
I'm gonna go check. Let's go check in with Salty Sandwich. We haven't seen them in a while. They're trying to battle down near the bottom of the board. But again, every place that you're able to increase, you're increasing your ultimate prize payout.
I believe they were just scouted actually by a Bloodhound, but they don't have a Bloodhound on their team. Yeah, there we see him kind of pop up. It's one knock. This is a bad spot to be in.
Jim Pansy goes down. Jim Pansy, the only player that has been rocking Caustic.
It's also very difficult. Unfortunately, the alternator without any attachments only has 16 bullets, and because it's an SMG, it fires so quickly.
Yeah.
So unless you're able to hit every single one of those shots, you're gonna find yourself in a rough spot. Able to do that, but the flank comes out for the other 2 members from the enemy team. Squad eliminated. Back to the lobby they go.
They were killed by he who shall not be named. It's unfortunate. Team Main still building up a bit more of the lead as we check in with the standings one more time. Things looking pretty set.
I think the biggest thing to look at there, you know, when it comes to gameplay, and it's not like, you know, putting pressure on these players or anything like, but more so when watching others, where can we improve, right? Is that was identifiable to some extent only because the Bloodhound ping, right? And that is an element of if you're playing against one, you need to know where that is. You have to be able to keep track of that and understand what range that has so you can identify where he is, because it's also revealed to him at the same pace.
Let's go check in with the Kingsmen. Cycril, Stoda, and Break. Been playing excellently all day. See how gameplay is going for them. They're down pushing into the river.
Bangalore Bloodhound Mirage combination. I'd be curious to find out actually how many times Bangalore and Bloodhound have been played together in relation to how many times they've been picked, because that was one of the, I think one of the quickest assumptions that people made of, all right, how good actually is this combination? And people said, oh, it's pretty good. Let's play. Let's see how much we can play with it. But how much of that percentage actually holds true?
We got 3 of our 8 teams are running Bangalore Bloodhound.
Okay.
And then it looks like 1.
Every single game?
3, 4 teams are running Bangalore or Bloodhound, like one or the other.
Is it a 50-50 between the two and isolated, or is it weighted towards the Bangalore because the Bloodhound doesn't get the effect of this?
We have 1, 2, 3 Bangalores, and 1 Bloodhound.
So it's weighted towards the Bangalore on the independent level and the Bloodhound for the synergy. Really interesting there.
Which I think makes a lot of sense. I think that does make a lot of sense. It does require a certain level of skill to play Bloodhound and to commit to that kind of more stalker-style strategy that he employs, whereas you do have a lot of offensive capabilities as well as zoning with both the Bangalore tactical ability as well as the artillery strike on that ultimate.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that, you know, some of those immediate, like, objective evaluations and considerations are, you know, to some level coming to light here within the level of play, being the first, you know, kind of organized skirmish between some of these teams and being able to look at some of that data. As a guy who, you know, likes numbers and likes to analyze things, it just gets me going. Rustles the jimmies in a positive way.
Another Mastiff here for Sacriel. You've seen that again. One of Sacril's top clips is actually him on a Pathfinder, grappling over the top of a building and then 2 Mastiff pumps for the win.
one thing we didn't talk about that much, we've reacted to the Mastiff and the Kravers, right, and the rarity of them, but we haven't highlighted that those are truly only capable through care package drops, right? It is very, very rare to be able to find them. You're never going to find those in a building or anywhere else, and that's why part of the reason that within the probability of even finding that, the probability of it being on one is even that much lower. So it's a great situation here for Sacriel.
One of the interesting things about a battle royale is that it's one of the most popular game types in the world. It's also an interesting thing where most people who play the game aren't winning while they're playing.
Yeah.
Okay? You find satisfaction out of doing other things other than winning. And I know people who play battle royales, specifically crate hunting. They just like if they get a Mastiff in their inventory, they've won the game.
Yeah.
If they're happy with it, and if they get a kill with it, that's just even better.
Yeah, I think it's like the the gamer term for like a casual is like that player which plays their playstyle because it's fun and not because it's like most optimal, right? Like battle royales cater to that playstyle and that ideology extremely heavily, and even better, you can kind of master those elements to see like what does that look like in a vacuum when it's like I'm the best in the world of insert unique playstyle number one.
Pog has built a 5-point lead over ZF. Only time will tell if they can maintain it.
Guys, if you see a skull splitter, pick it up, please. I need some heavy ammo. I want to stay up here just in case. There's people landing up.
Lots of conversation, lots of communication happening between the different Kingsmen.
You see the hero kills. Makatao breaking into the 100 club. Robbie as well. Started to challenge Mikolau possibly for that top kill spot. Remember, there is a $7,500 prize pool on the line for your team, the team who gets the most kills.
I'm in awe that a Pathfinder rounds that top at all. I am so proud of Mikolau right now. Like to have only a flaking capability within a team fight to give you an advantage as an ability, and you are one of the top shooters in this tournament, I think that gives a lot of credit to Mikolau in his skirmish capabilities and honestly just raw shooting.
And as well as the recognition of the mobility and reposition tools that the grapple, as well as the zipline provides you from that Pathfinder. When the launch trailer came out of, okay, this is what the Pathfinder is, it was he's the scout. He's the one that's doing these long-range things. Well, that's great, but if you can't hit the shots, it doesn't really matter. And to your point, Mikolau has been able to do that time and time again.
Yeah, it's pretty insane to be able to see that come to light here. I'll be honest, I did not walk into today, especially with kills being so heavy, expecting that many Pathfinder success. And honestly, it seems like he's really the only one here so far.
Now, folks, if you haven't played Apex Legends yet, it's free, so be sure to go download it, because from 1:30 to 2 p.m. Pacific, you'll have a chance to help our NA streamers warm up by dropping into the blue hot zones and fighting them. It's going to be a lot of fun, so be sure to jump in and check it out. It's kind of a cool way. They're telling the North American streamers, hey, if you're playing right now, drop the hot zones. You have a chance to play against the big dogs.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's going to be really exciting there. And again, I think the biggest thing to point out, it's free. This game is not only amazing, really, really fun and very creative with some of the design choices across the board, but beyond all else, you're sitting there going like, wait a minute, it doesn't cost me anything to even try it out. And I think that's one of those moments where you go, literally try it, and I promise you, you're going to be back. So deal with that.
Yeah. And this is the only way they can come unless they go in the zone.
6 squads remaining, 16 players, 16, well, I guess 13 possible frags for the Kingsmen to clean up.
They're fighting where we came from, but they've just pushed up now.
Again, multiple conversations. They're actually going to go outside of the ring to try to reposition. Luckily, they're not out to go very far. It's a little bit in, a little bit out.
That's right. They've just finished.
A couple little ticks of damage is going to happen, but they know that there's a lot of fight happening. The proximity, and they're going to come around from behind. You think you're safe, but you're not, my friend. There's a lot of damage is going to come out, knockdown after knockdown. It does look like they're going to get the full squad wipe. Great rotation there by the members of the Kingsmen.
And earlier we were highlighting this section of the 3 angles it can come from, the high ground advantages that are available. And this is one of the few moments I think we're going to get to see where a team does a clever rotation around that to not care about the high ground and the choke capabilities that the other unit very much had there. Really well done here from Sacriel and this team. But I think the biggest thing there is just like, utilizing some of the elements of this battleground in some of the creative areas where there are abilities to gain advantages.
Let's go tune in to Team Nordic, battling for the first place spot, trying to make the comeback.
Maybe I find out the squad in the meantime.
Orbs blood hunted right now.
They have 3 squads remaining there.
Be careful, because there's one right on you, Stud. Bamboo. And then one far.
You can hear the Bamboozle's going to be able to come out. There are 2 charges left on the Bangalore, as well as the artillery strike, which is now a pretty good opportunity for him to reposition. You can see he's going to go up a little bit of that vertical zip line, try to see if he can get a little bit of verticality, figure out where everybody is. Immediately pulls out the wingman because he understands.
Like here somewhere?
He's got a digital threat on that too, right? To be able to open up with a smoke immediately and have a wingman with a ability to see through the smoke itself. Really good situation to be in here for Koa.
And we're getting into crunch time as well. We'll update you guys in just a second of the exact timer of how many minutes is left for these guys to compete. But it is rounding up. We are close to that last 25% of the last hour. 2 squads are left remaining.
He's in the house, right? He's got to be.
They did get an initiation, the other two here. Coach still trying to catch up. We haven't seen Incredible actually Orb get the actual shielding off, which I'm assuming means that they still have some tangos around, or at least being pressured.
That's me
I guess
shooting the air.
it's been long enough now that you would expect them to get that heal up and shield up at some point, but there it is.
Holding a 5-point lead on ZF. There's Orb. Great skin.
It's me shooting.
It is real pretty. I like that here. You see them trying to bait out the target.
They need to fight now. They're confident in their ability to win it wherever it is.
I mean, there's one guy, right?
Yeah, there is actually. Keep an eye on it in case he goes for the tags.
I mean, they got to be around where he was, surely. Like,
It's always the hardest decision. Someone is left alive. But where are they?
Do you split up, stick together? What do you do?
The ring is not small either. They could be in a lot of places.
And they've got roughly at least 5 minutes until they'll deal with an inner zone. I think that's the best play there, is wait out a Bloodhound ultimate and then look to scout with him when that comes up, or use the scout out of the ping. He just used a ping in an area he already surveyed. I would have liked to see maybe wait that out and use that somewhere they hadn't already scouted as heavily. That being said, it's clear that Orb knows somebody's in that direction, so using some information we didn't get to pick up on. And he's still just constantly going here. So, and I would say, what, about 20 seconds he's going to have an ultimate, and unlikely that this last target survives.
Yeah, if you're manhunting for one last person, this is the guy you want to be playing.
the bodies where he was, like that are dead.
No, the ping attempt.
He's trying to grab them.
You see it. You saw it up on the screen. It says no hostiles. Even if you didn't notice a frame,
I got ult.
Kind of a body image, it'll let you know if you hit somebody.
T-minus 10 seconds and counting. Like, that's how I feel like this game is. And once this button is, the second he hits Z, it is going to be Orb locking in a kill onto the next one. Ship it, boys. Let's get some more W's.
Piece of shit.
Yep.
Is he going to take off before? I think using it before the zipline would be the smartest, right? With the largest survey area. But I don't know how far Bloodhound's actual ultimate does get the reveal.
He's a Bloodhunter too.
yeah.
It's a Bloodhound hunting.
There it is.
That are inside
So there you go. Exactly what you're looking for. He pops it. Can't find anything. So the way that looks like it to me means that the person that's hiding just hasn't moved. They've stayed in the exact same spot. So now he's going to try to go through each of these little houses to see if he can do anything. He's going to try to see if he can pop his tactical ability again. Doesn't see anyone. They're going to have to just wait for...
Well, this guy's like hiding out in the circle, just healing.
Oh my gosh, it's hurting this team so heavily when looking at the standings too. Literally, this guy is wasting 6 points in total, right? 1 kill plus the win from them right now, saying that, assuming that they're going to get this kill. And so that is wasting so much time for 6 points.
But they need those 6 points.
They do.
And again, the rule is they're not allowed to leave the lobby. They cannot bail on this lobby and go start a new one. They have to finish this lobby.
When you also get 5 points for the win as well, so they're losing out on 5 points. Well, actually 6 points because they would get 1 for the kill as well. So they're losing out on so much right now. And unfortunately, the time is ticking down. Even though we're in, round number 4, it's still, I think, 2:10, 2:15 or something like that before the ring decides to move again. But now, thankfully, they figured out where they are. It looks like they're going to be right on the top of this little canyon or ravine area.
And no surprise, the guys are in that choke area, like I was talking about before. Like, just trying to camp out, use the high ground advantage. They already got 1 knocked. I think there's only going to be 2 left. There's the second knock, 1 body left.
So it was actually 8 points.
There it is.
Here. And he finishes them off. They get the win. Now, here's an interesting thing. They have until 12:55 to start their last lobby. Once you're in a lobby, you can finish it. So they have 3 minutes to get into their last game. Think of if they had managed to stretch that even longer, they couldn't have started the game.
That would have, like, if you're that guy who's sitting there waiting that out and you're watching the stream right now, you're going like, I just made and broke that tournament by my play.
Yeah. Ultimately, I think it probably won't matter, seeing as they will be able to get into another lobby, and it will most likely be their last. So at this point,
they also got the added bonus of it wasn't just one guy that was like lurking around. It was an entire 3 squad.
Yeah.
So they get the full 8 points. So it does help out a little bit. Maybe not as much as what you might think, but each every single one of those points, especially when you're trying to climb the mountain that Team Maiden has created for you, certainly helps a lot.
We're going to check in with Team ZF. Again, battling for the 3rd, 4th place. Right now in 4th, they've been 5 points behind Pog for the past 10 minutes or so. They need to have a great last game here. They want to leapfrog into the top 3.
I don't know how close we are to that time frame, but they only have 3 squads left. It is possible that they find a victory or a loss within that 3-minute time frame.
I think right now it is 12:54.
Oh man,
they need to find it right now.
Run it down the proverbial mid here.
They don't have any AOE ults either to possibly just sweep some kills.
Can we bring up the real highlight here? Sombrero put on the sombrero.
Oh, he put on the sombrero!
He did!
Yeah, he knew it's time.
He put it up!
It's time, dude.
The rally cap!
Yeah, we're not messing around anymore. This guy's about to pop off.
Look at that, he didn't miss! He's playing number generator.
Even says it laser.
Yeah, this guy got lasered. Yeah, dang right. Looking for a second rotation of laser.
Can you get him? They're all in here.
Lifeline,
oh, yeah. That was a great reposition by him because he knew the lifeline was able to get it. And actually, wow, he pops the ultimate there to try to get away even farther. So really good job by him. He threw a decoy out as well. And a decoy, if their enemy actually kills your decoy, it reveals their location for about like 1 second. So it's not a long time, but it's just enough to get information on where you need to rotate.
And this right now, they have a huge advantage. They know there's 2 people, and they know they have a man advantage, and they know they're stuck in a room. They're getting the pressure to be able to kind of choke them out, throw down a couple grenades. There's pressure onto 1. Bloodhound should receive the knock there. Actually ends up not confirming the knock for himself, and oh my, sombrero here. Just dancing on these kids.
Nice little tap dance, but another group comes out, knocks the full shield off. You can see with the 106 damage.
It's the last one.
Trying to finish off, get the win right now at 8 kills just on sombrero. This is exactly the sort of game they need to finish on if they want to have a chance of beating Pog.
They have a portal to the upper left, I believe, is where that ends. Nice amount of shots coming in there.
So much damage.
That would be the only retreat capability, so everybody else on that other end of this portal, I think.
Pog right now at 11-point lead. They need these kills. And they've got the 6 kills from wiping the last 2 squads and the 5 points from winning. Is that enough? We don't know. Find out. I don't believe that they're able to start another game. We'll get confirmation.
It's 5 to 10.
They're trying.
They're trying. Yeah, they snapped left. They're like, I'm not watching these animations.
I mean, what do you
lose?
lose?
The game.
You know, what do you lose at that point in time? You're going to get yourself queued up. You're going to get yourself into a match.
Either you get in under the little deadline, or you don't, and you just get to play.
Look at that excitement.
He has LEDs on his sombrero.
That's just that's just a whole new level of awesome.
Disconnecting.
This guy looks amazing.
Yeah, no.
I want to play with him.
Sombrero game definitely is not weak. That's for sure.
Come on.
I wasn't expecting to come into work today and be able to say, yo, that sombrero game is strong, dude. But it definitely is.
This is the sort of things that make Twitch Rivals a unique